Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard for a bit of March Madness here on Friday the 25th of March. We've got a North American freight lineup for you this evening, starting in just a couple of moments, where Train Simulator Driver is going to be teaching you the delights. Oh yeah, the delights of Sherman Hill and a bit of switching action going on there. That will be followed by a 4-up challenge that takes place on Sandpatch Grade, and if you've watched 4-up challenges before, you ain't never seen nothing like this one. Oh no, it's a classic. Shortly after that, at 9 o'clock in the UTC, Oakville Subdivision. I'm going to be taking that on in a bit of live Let's Play style action, before switching my hat over to my slightly less serious alter ego for a bit of Cane Creek to round out your freight-based evening. So settle in and be prepared for some heavy stuff.
G'day viewers, I'm Train Simulator Driver, and if you hadn't guessed, I'm from Australia. I'm also known as Paul, and I live in Melbourne, right down the bottom of the bottom, you know, down there. But anyway, today we're on Sherman Hill, and we're going to do a bit of switching around Cheyenne, because I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce this activity to you, because it occurred to me that a lot of people probably come into the games, and they don't have a railway or railroad background, and they've probably never even heard terms like switching and shunting and points and cars and things like that. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a look at it. Righto then, let's just get on with it, shall we? Maybe not. We need to actually plan this out just a little bit, because the whole point of this is to do it in a reasonable number of moves, with safety, and to not spend too much time doing it, but still have fun. So, I've got a switch list of the cars that we need to find, and we're going to be delivering to a few customers. We're going to be sending some crude oil in tank cars to Suncor Energy. That's down this track here somewhere. We're going to be sending some ethanol, also in tank cars, to Frontier Refinery. Now, those two things are flammable and explosive, so we probably want to keep something between us and them, because, you don't really want a fried engine driver, do you? Next up, we've got Wyoming Steel, and they're getting some coking coal in a hopper. Well, a couple of hoppers, actually. That could burn, but, you know, it's actually pretty hard to get it going. And we've got Sierra Trading, who are getting mixed goods in some boxcars, and that seems to be fairly safe. And then we've got Pine Bluffs Feed and Grain, who are getting cattle feed in covered hoppers. And then we've got Cruise Concrete, who are getting some lime in the covered hoppers. So that's the order we're going to deliver: Suncor, Frontier, Wyoming Steel, Sierra Trading, Pine Bluffs Feed and Grain, and then Cruise Concrete. So we can probably use those cars to keep us safe and keep us away from the flammable and explosive things. Now, some railways require you to have what's called buffer cars on both ends of a dangerous consist. So I think we might use the covered hoppers to do that. So first up, let's take a little drive down here and let's get going. And we're going to go and couple up to these boxcars down here, and then we'll go out for a little bit of a walk. So in reality, the engine driver or engineer, depending on where you come from or whatever terminology you use locally, perhaps you even use locomotive pilot, I know that's popular in some countries. Normally you wouldn't get out because, you know, you're the person in the hot seat. You've got the job to do. You've got to drive the train. And you'd normally have shunters or conductors or switchmen or switch people or whatever it is that you would normally call them in your country on the ground doing the work. Now, unfortunately, this game isn't multiplayer, so guess what? You've only got me. Oh well, that just means we have to get out and go for a bit of a walk. That's okay. It's all good. Now, if you're listening, Dovetail, multiplayer would be cool. So we're getting pretty close to this boxcar, so let's just slow down quite a lot. And then we can just nudge up a couple up to it. There we go. Done. All right, so let's just make this locomotive safe. So we're just going to turn off our gen field, put the reverser into the middle there, and I've already fully applied the independent brake. Righto then, we've got our switch list. We'll go outside and explore in a moment and go for a walk and figure out which cars that we're going to pick up. But first up, let's just have a quick look at the map. So we have got some clear tracks and some occupied tracks. We're going to put the train that we're putting together into this track, and we're going to put the things that we don't want into this track over here. So that'll just help us keep things organised. So now it's time to go for a little walk. Let's just do that. Get the door open. And down we go. Now, the first car that we want is quite a long way down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of these cars that we don't actually want. So we've got 98, 40, 79. That might be the first one that we want, I think. And I'm just looking at my switch list. Yep, this is the first one that we actually want. So we are going to cut the other ones off. Let's just go for a little walk back up here. Sorry about the strange camera angles. All right, let's do this. Okay, so I think we should go and jump back in the loco now. And just to stop us having to walk everywhere, we'll do this. Let's just turn the gen field back on. Release the independent brake, and I've put it in reverse. Now we're pulling such a small consist, we don't have to wait too long for the brakes to pump up. And you'll also notice I went straight for notch 3. It's because we're only pulling a few cars. It really won't matter. I'm just not going to break any couplers doing this. So let's get this switch set so that we can put the cars into the empty road. You'll notice I've also taken advantage of an Xbox controller, because this way I can move the trains with the rail driver and use the Xbox controller to interact with the environment. All right, here it comes. We're going to take these a fair way down because I need to make plenty of room here. So just bear with me for a moment while we do this. And while we're interacting with the environment, I've turned the HUD back on because it just makes it a little bit easier because you get the little dot. Generally speaking, I play without the HUD. But do what's right for you. Remember those hoppers with coal? I guess that's them. Or are they gondolas? American railway speak. Oops. Railroad speak. Sorry. I'll just get these down past the tank cars and we will drop them off and we will have a look at the next move. So you've probably already noticed, you can see where all of the cars that we're going to be shunting are. Now, I won't make you watch all of it because I don't want you to be hanging around forever just watching this guy do this. All right then. Righto, let's just go and get rid of these boxcars. Let's open him up. And back into our loco. Righto, we've dumped the boxcars, so let's head back up the other end, so we can go and get some more of our train. Now, we want these tank cars that are here to our left. And we're also going to want the gondolas that have got the coal in them. And we also want those box cars that are up here. So let's go and push all of these together now. Now, I've checked all these numbers off on my switch list, and these are definitely the cars that we actually do want. So we can push these together and form up the first part of our train. Now, you probably notice when I'm moving with just a loco, I'm using the independent brake, which if you're driving with the controls is this one. And when I've got carriages or cars, I use the automatic train brake. Now, if you've only got a few, you could probably quite safely just use the independent brake. It's common shunting practice to do that. All right then, it's time to go and do that exciting thing again. Let's go and change some points. Now, in your local vocabulary, you may call these switches. And that's quite okay. So these are the ones we want. This time I'm using the mouse, so you can use anything you want to control these. And just so we're not here all day, let's use the shortcut to jump back into the loco. Change direction. And you can see what's happening with the controls down there. And off we go. Now, we don't want to go too hard here because we're going to couple up to these box cars. And we're going to pump up their brakes and we're going to push them into the gondolas and pump up those brakes and we're going to push those into the tank cars. Now, a safe coupling speed, and coupling is the activity of joining two parts of a train together. A safe coupling speed is about 4 miles an hour. And I'm using mile an hour, even though Australia's metric, because we're in a mile an hour train, in a mile an hour route, in a mile an hour country. And I tend to adjust to whatever the local measurement system is. So if I'm driving a German train, I'll be in metric. And one day, I hope to be driving an Australian train. One day. That would be really cool. Alright, so I'm just getting our speed right down. And we just try and judge this well enough so we go bonk, but we don't hit it too hard. Alright, So hopefully we will pump up these cars. It shouldn't take very long because there's not many of them. So let's just give them a shove and see what happens. Yeah, they're moving quite happily, so let's just leave outside and see how we're going here. Ooh, that's a bit janky, isn't it? All right, let's stop our acceleration because we don't want to push these into each other too hard. Ooh, I got stuck on that car. Oh, well, I'm sure we've all been there. I'll just start slowing it down a little bit with the independent brake, but I don't want to stop. There we go. So we should be pumping these ones up again now too. And let's go and push these ones into the tank cars. We've got a few more now, so I'm just going to go up to notch 3 this time. Maybe just a little while before it moves because it's going to have to pump up the brakes. And we've got a few more cars now. Let's jump back into the cab and see how that's going with the gauges because it looks like we're not moving yet. Our brakes are still releasing. Oh, the bells, the bells. And of course, the brakes release up close to the locomotive before they release on the other cars. There we go, we're moving now. Now, we don't have to keep jumping out because I realise that's a little bit disruptive to watch. So we'll just watch our speed because we don't have very far to push. So I'll go back to idle now. And our speed's so low, it won't matter when we just bonk into these cars, it'll be fine. And then I'll just apply the train brake and we'll be all good. Now I'm getting just a little bit quick. So let's just give it a bit of independent brake just to slow it down a tad. Probably pretty close to being there. There we go. That was a little violent, wasn't it? That's because I've got the cab sway set at 200%, so it gets quite violent. All right, let's just set our gen field. Let's put our reverser back to neutral. I've already fully applied the independent brake, and we do that just to make things safe because we're going to jump out and we're going to go and have a look at which of these hoppers that we want to pick up. So let's just head out. This is shunting life. Up and down, up and down, up and down. I think we might want to run down here. It's a little bit far. So we've got most of our train put together now, so we're not doing too badly. And I'm going to have to look at my switch list in a moment because I need to know which hoppers I need. Now I'm putting these hoppers on the back because this railway requires you to have buffer cars at both ends of the explosive materials. And when we're going to switch our industry, which isn't part of what I'm showing you today, but we would drop these off, push them past the siding, and then push the other ones into the siding. So we've got number 13. I'm only looking at the last digits. And we've got 22. Goodo, we want that one. Those two are both for the Pine Bluffs Feed and Grain. And then we've got 34 and 49. Well, isn't that lucky? All right, so just to make it a little bit easier for me, what I'm going to do is uncouple those. And if we don't hit them too hard, hopefully they won't couple back up again. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want to pump up that great big long train just to move these 4 cars. And all I want to do is take our train and couple it to these ones so that we can do what we need to do. So we'll just get back up here and climb up into the locomotive and get it ready to move. I'm not sure what it thinks I can interact with. Something. Maybe there's a switch or something up there in the distance that it wants me to use. Quite possible. Alright, let's jump back in the cab. This is always just a little bit awkward. Doesn't matter what control method you use. Now, let's set our gen field again. If you don't know what the gen field is, it excites the generator. Okay. Release our brakes. And let's get a couple of notches on just while the brakes release so that we don't roll. Hopefully I picked the right direction. Did I? Did I? No, I didn't. Oh well. We're not all clever. Alright. This time for sure. If you're wondering why that independent brake release message sits there, sometimes with rail driver messages that happens, unfortunately. There we go. We are now going in the correct direction. So we're just going to jump out and we're going to use the 8 key and we're going to go flying up here. If you're in console land, we're using free camera. And I still have the luxury of being able to control the train with the rail driver, which is why I like the thing. So the train's moving quite happily now. Basically, we just need to get them past this set of points up here. And while we're waiting, let's just wander over here. Those points are set okay, so... no, that's not the right track, actually. We want... Whoops, whoops. That's a bit quick, isn't it? We want that track, and those are not set correctly. So we might as well do this while we're waiting. And they're now set for the track that the hoppers are in. And we'll come up to these points. Because we're going to tell our driver what's going on. Right, our driver, I'm on the ground near the points. All right, driver, we've got 5 cars to go. 4 cars. 3 cars. 2 cars. Last car coming through now. And stop it there, mate. Took a little bit longer to stop than I thought. But that's okay. Because stop we have. Well, nearly anyway. All right then. So that's the track we're going to go to. And we need to switch these. So that we go through that junction now. Now I'm just going to start this going, so I'm going to switch direction with the rail driver, release the brakes. and a little bit of throttle, but not much, because I don't want him to run me over. And I'm going to come down here and call him onto these cars down here. Naturally, I can fly. Whee! Can't you fly? Thought we all could do it. So the train's probably just started to move by now. Looking at the rail driver, it has. So the other cool thing about the rail driver is you have a speed indicator. Makes going HUD-free just that little bit easier. Sounds like there's a fire going on somewhere. Whee! All right then. Now we just keep an eye on our train, who's a fair way away at the moment. But he is definitely moving. He's up to 4 miles an hour. We don't want him to get too quick, because you might have noticed just how long it took to stop when I said to stop. We kept going for another probably car and a half. When I keep mentioning cars, if you're used to calling them wagons, well, that's what I'm talking about. Because the wonderful thing about railways is we all have the same things, no matter where we are in the world, but we all use different terminology for it. It could be quite confusing at times when you're trying to interact with someone else from somewhere else in the world. Righto, driver, I've got you there. Keep coming, good speed. All right, driver, roughly 10 cars to go. Start easing off your speed now. Five cars to go. Four cars to go. Three cars to go. Bring your speed down, driver. 2 cars to go. 1 car to go. Coupling up, good speed. All right. Now, there's a fair chance we pushed those hard enough to couple the others up. Let's go and look. We wanted 4 of them, I think. Let me just check my list here. This is the last car that we want. So, did we couple them up again? We did. Look at that. No, we did not. How's that? That was a bit lucky, wasn't it? All right, let's go back up to the front, because our next task is to get these into the road, and then we can go and do our departure paperwork. You take this run by as an opportunity to check your switch list. Just in case there's any doubt, there really is one. So here we have 2 covered hoppers, which are for cruise concrete, and they are full of lime. And they are number 49 and 34. Yeah, we can check that. Next up, we have got 2 more hoppers for Pine Bluffs Feed and Grain, and they are 22 and 13. That makes sense. Now we've got our 5 tank cars here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And they're for our two customers, Frontier and Suncor. And then we've got our gondolas full of coal, which are for the steelworks. And finally, we've got our boxcars full of mixed goods for Sierra. Righto then, just stop him there. And that's all we need to do. So I hope this has been interesting and a bit of fun and a little bit educational if you don't know anything about shunting. Now, I haven't gone into great detail and I haven't been at all specific about any particular railway or railroad. I've just given you some general examples of things that are going to be relatively realistic no matter where you're operating. There are, of course, going to be lots and lots of rules and regulations that belong to every particular place, and you can be a rivet counter and work to those completely and learn your railroad and learn your route and do absolutely everything by the book, or you can take a fairly generalist approach and basically just have fun with it, and that's essentially what I do. So thanks very much for watching. This has been Train Simulator Driver, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Railfan TV during March Madness. Thanks very much. Bye now.
You are watching Railfan TV. This is March Madness. It's Friday and we've got a North American freight special for you this evening. You've just seen Train Simulator Driver, and if you liked what you saw there, why not give him a follow on YouTube? Coming up for you next, we've got the 4-Up Challenge on Sandpatch Grade, where 4 of the team members go head to head taking on the same challenge. And it's a good one. And then shortly after that, I'll be back to play Oakville Subdivision with you live before switching to my alter ego for Cane Creek, which will round off our evening. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and brace yourselves. Hello folks, it's 4-Up Challenge time. For those of you who've not experienced a 4-Up Challenge before, 4 players from the team will tackle the exact same challenge at the same time to try and come up with the best results. Now, we all record these individually, so everybody records their run separately, and then I edit them together. So at the time that we record this response, let's say, I already know the result, and this one is great. Let's meet the team. To my hold on, which side of that is? That's right. To my right, no. To on
Left.
the screen.
Left.
I don't.
Started well, Sam.
That way. That's Natalie. Say hello, Natalie.
Hello.
All right. Okay. And then down there. No, wait. Hang on. This is complicated because my count. Then you got Jamie. Say hello, Jamie.
Hello. How are we doing?
They're good. And then JD.
This one's hopefully an easy one for you to point to, Sam. There we go. Hello, everybody. I will give you a heads up now. This is the happiest that I'm going to be throughout the entirety of this stream.
No, it's not. No. You're going to be happier. You're going to be much happier. Right now, we've got about an hour worth of driving ahead of us. So let's stroll on. Right. So the route we're playing today is Sandpatch Grade. The weather is it's December. It's snowed. There's a bit of murk. There's some wind. And everybody's got their own sort of interpretation of that, and it works quite well. Now, unusually, everyone has to start on foot and then go and borrow borrow a locomotive with which to complete the task. Start time at 12 p.m. And the objective is a simple one. Normally we do this by score, but because we're on foot, there are no scores. So it's first past the post. First past the post. And there's a finish line that we'll show you in a sec. Special rules are important. You only get one practice run. You could practice starting your loco as many times as you liked, but you're only allowed to do one full practice run to get the lay of the land. And you're not allowed to use... you have to manually change all switches. And that's a biggie. Anyway, you've got to grab your locomotive, then go and grab 4 cars from each of the 2 sidings indicated, and do that as quickly as you can. Because there's no scoring, the occasional speeding is encouraged. And then once you've put your full consist together, you have to pass the signals at the finish line. Fastest time wins. We're not doing any kind of clock sync up or any of that kind of business. It's literally first past the post is the victor. How did we feel about the challenge, gang?
Utter chaos. First of all, during my practice run, I think it took me about 3 hours trying to figure out how to actually get the thing started, at which point I almost cry ringing Matt, going, how do I get it to start?
I have never done shunting before, and I feel like this is basically shunting sort of whacked up to 11. So I really thoroughly enjoyed my time doing this. Spent 4 hours practicing, barely got myself even to where we needed to get to. What you're about to see is a bit of a catastrophe.
Everyone has a bit of a catastrophe, it's fair to say. I mean, nobody comes out of this smelling of roses.
Yeah.
And as far as it being advanced shunting, no, this is really, really basic. You're just picking up two banks of wagons and taking them for a stroll.
Yeah. It's not you're not even like shunting the wagons around in certain orders.
Thanks for making me feel better, guys.
You're welcome. So
you're going to be feeling much better throughout this once you watch what I did.
I don't know that.
No, you really are.
Yeah.
There are some parts
So
where
you've all gone for
they...
your locomotives first, although James hasn't worked out the sprint button. I
was just enjoying the weather.
I'm setting the turntable up from the get-go. See? Pro strats.
I mean...
I think I did that actually, but I mean, obviously, I'm still miles behind.
Well, you will in about 10 minutes' time.
At this point, Matt had just told me how to get the locomotive started, so I was like, "Do it while it's fresh in your brain."
There we go.
Yeah.
That was my
Now
strategy.
for the interesting start.
What locos did everybody go for, by the way?
The one on the right.
The GP38.
Did everybody go for the same one?
Apart from James.
Yep, of course.
He went for the AC 4400 because he's a flash git.
I like the cut of its jib.
No, I wanted something, robust that would just get the job done.
I wanted one I could start.
Yeah. But it's nice to see all the technicals happening. See, look, James is using the pro style as well of moving the turntable to the right place before kicking off.
Yep.
Again, this is probably about the only thing that I actually did that you would class potentially as pro. So I'm glad that we're getting this out nice and early.
I'm currently struggling to close the door here. I can't get it to close. I'm just like, you know what? Never mind. Stay there.
There you go. And you see, I'm first underway. Not a problem. I like ninja moves. And my turntable's already set up correctly, just saying. Jamie, how do you feel about this one? You're an overconfident young man. You drive a lot of train simulation. So,
yeah. To do a shunting challenge, sometimes I've done it in model railways and bits and pieces like that. Obviously, you don't normally use speed. But I think... it comes to light a bit later on, but I won't say anything. But yeah, it's. I must admit, I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. It was something different. And I realised that I put the turntable the wrong way round, so now I'm going the right way. But yeah, I think starting up the locomotive and having to prime it, get it started, I think was something nice and different to do as well.
Oh, the cold start was great. I love cold starting stuff. I think that's great fun.
Yeah, it was great fun. I loved it.
So we just highlight here that I'm actually underway at this point. Nearly.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, you
So nearly. So I've nearly caught up all of that time.
Hey, see, I'm about to rip it off the turntable. I'm all good.
There we go. So see, up and running, second place at the moment.
See, because
there we go.
On my practice run, I identified what I felt was a ninja move, but you've got to get a shake on. You can't dawdle to pull it off.
So I will highlight here on my practice run for this. It took me forever to get the loco started, and then within about 3 seconds of getting the loco started, I then forgot to put the brake on and spadded off of the turntable. So that was fun.
I saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't make an outtakes reel, to be honest.
Right. So yeah, the use of the map is totally allowed. You're just not allowed to use use anything other than yourself to change any points or switches, because otherwise it's just too easy.
Can I ask what people's strategies were for this? Because I looked at it and I just could not work out how to do this properly.
Yeah, so my strategy was chaos. I looked. There's one point coming up where I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to get to where I wanted to go. So the train is you can enjoy it soon, but the loco is moving, and I'm just looking at the map the whole time. Like I just did not know how to do it. So that was my strategy. Just keep looking at the map and hope you figure out where you're going.
I basically reversed for most of mine. Because I couldn't work out how to get to myself to the right way around that I needed to get to be able to shunt things. So that was the bit that I really struggled with, and I couldn't work out in my mind how to do it. And I was probably having a mind blank. I was doing it towards the end of the day, but I just couldn't work out how to do it. And I think that was probably the source of my problem.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. If it attaches to the front, attaches to the back, whatever, you've got it. Let's roll. I mean, the important thing is getting it moving.
Sam, you went through the
I went through the
area.
shed, and I shouldn't have done. I think I'm the only one who goes through the shed, because I had to get out to change the points as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm currently in last place.
It's not. This is very much a hare and the tortoise style event. There are so many ways to come unstuck, as we will see. So
also noticed I uncoupled all. So I don't know whether this affected people, but obviously with the American style couplings you have a lock and unlock feature. So basically, if you leave it locked, it won't couple properly. So I unlocked it first before I moved on as well.
There you go. I'm now moving like you're supposed to.
And I'm reversing out of the turntable.
50 in reverse. Let's flip and go. Because I've got to get through a junction ahead of a passing train.
Ah, yes.
This is what I struggled with.
This is what I struggled with. At this point, I didn't realise you could speed, so it wasn't until later on I was like, actually. But there we go.
I wasn't sure how fast you could speed without, like...
Yeah, I mean, obviously derailing is still a disqualification. But complete... So, as you can see on the map now, there's the train I'm trying to get in ahead of. I've got to switch across 2 sets of points and then hook it up the other way.
Good luck.
This was my tactic, okay? So I think me and Sam at this point, we had the same idea. Sam might have executed it slightly better than I did.
I
Hold
had
your
a
horses.
different tactic entirely to this.
I think Sam's been caught out.
And I'm currently on the set of points that I want to switch.
And the train's already beaten you to it.
And I end up about 5 feet short, so I kind of go, "I'll stuff it. I'll just push this train back."
Yeah, there's a point.
Gently
I
does
kinda
it.
wish that you know what? I wish I'd done that.
You do.
You will see.
I'm literally only just leaving the turntable.
Yeah.
I think, Sam, you've realised you haven't unlocked the couplings, have you?
Oh no, locking and unlocking couplings, that's not a problem. The issue is, I was hoping that it would allow me to act as the lead loco on the consist and just reverse it. Not so much. So, because I'm Inspector Sherlock Holmes, I'm going to go and fiddle with some stuff on the other train. I'll go inspect your coupling. Yeah. That all looks legit. No. Oh no, I'm glad they've hooked that up as well. Good. And then switch over here, and I'm just going to go and mess with stuff. And fundamentally, all I should need to do is take it out of lead. All right, morning. Don't mind me. I'm just.
Oh dear. Oops.
Oh, it's not letting you drive to the
No, but I can still interact with the controls.
Oh, that is devious.
Now,
She's sat there ready to go, and she's just got some loon who's rocking up, just kind of going flip, 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 flip.
And now it's just leaving the turntable.
I'm still like really struggling to figure out where I want to go. So I don't even think I'm in the train yet. I think I'm still in the turntable thingy. You know, the room.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, I'm like, which direction do I want to take?
All I'm looking for is the switch it from lead or dead, which ironically would probably work.
Yeah. The end of the train is nearly there now, so I can nearly switch me road.
I thought I'd open the window because it wasn't quite cold enough already in there.
No,
I
so
definitely had a
I give that up as a bad lot. If I can't get it shifting, I go, that's just a shame. It's just it's a crying pity that didn't come off. Yeah, close the crossing gate. I'm obeying health and safety laws here considerably. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I hadn't got the train in full power at the moment anyway. Wouldn't be the first time I'd run myself over.
So here is where I realise that there is a big old train that's blocking my my progress.
Yeah, I'm interfering with it.
I'm thinking at this stage, how can I do it like an Indiana Jones style, like getting in there and just pulling my hat out just as the door closes, and I'm thinking, well, shall I give it a go?
And Jamie's just waiting patiently for it to pass.
Yeah. Which I think, admittedly, may have worked in my favour. I think.
Whereas,
where's the different problem?
Where's the
because
gusto?
It takes me so long.
All right. Look at this. Look, he's coiled like an Olympic sprinter. Jamie's ready to go, and right about here, he's disqualified.
Huh?
Because he didn't get out of the train.
You didn't get out of the train to change the points.
Yeah, but I didn't use the map.
No, but you didn't get out of the train to change the points.
I thought it was fine to use that and not use the map. The whole idea I thought was you couldn't use the map. So I didn't use the map. So I thought to myself, well, I can use the camera to set the points.
I went back and checked.
That is...
See how everybody else is on foot changing the points, Jamie?
Well, true, but that's what I read within the rules. So that's what I thought was the actual...
You have to change them manually and not just use the spirit camera in order to make it happen.
Right.
Because for this reason, you're now like half a mile away from your train, and you're just you're using the ghost cam to do it all. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're playing at home, that is the efficient way to make things happen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I've had to disqualify you because you don't do it a little bit, Jamie. You do it a lot. There is a lot. In fact, I think...
the other thing, I think I was thinking of it as a model railway. Realistically, that's what,
right.
in a model railway terms, you do, is you set the road ahead of you and then come back. So I was like, right, okay, well, I might as well use the camera. I can still drive it via, controls and bits and pieces.
Is this what Matt did as well? Because
I think
it's
really Matt would have done. Yeah, I think he would have done.
Well, on Matt's first go, he did it using the camera, using the map.
Matt had a definite fear of missing out on this one, and he
Yeah.
did his own run, and I think he just wanted to be included.
Jamie, I did not see you being disqualified first.
No, I thought I was doing everything right. I was like, well, I'm still setting the points manually because I'm not going into the map and changing.
That's nothing.
Also,
Jamie
at this point-
delivers on one of the greatest moments in any one of these challenges before this one finishes. Even though he's disqualified, it is absolutely legendary.
I'm patiently awaiting the Indiana Jones moment, which did not quite happen for me, so I did have to stop.
I currently have no idea where I'm going, and I considered restarting because I thought I'd done it wrong. And then I'm like, no, I'm sure it's fine.
James has rocked up just as the lengthy train has passed the
And
junction.
I'm like, no, it's fine.
Indiana Jones did. What did I say?
So I still
point,
don't
I was
know
like,
where I'm going.
At this point,
I
I'm
just
like,
giggled
I'm like,
a little.
I am nailing this, guys. I am so chuffed with myself at this point.
Hold on,
And-
guys, watch. Here we go. I've just realised something. Right, this is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Yay!
That's Jamie driving it like he hates it. How you didn't derail there is beyond me.
Well, I feel a lot better now.
I think it's because I unlocked the coupling, so it was just like, right, on straight level rail. I was like, right.
I'm now getting chased down the track by the double header unit that is just trundling around the yard.
Yeah.
I've finally figured out where I'm going. There. That is the moment I realise where I want to go.
Oh, there we go. You're actually highlighting the target wagons there, which is good as well.
It's my brain has finally registered, right, that is where I need to end up. So now I'm trying to figure out how to get there. Obviously, because it's taken me so long to get to this point, I don't have the same problem you had with waiting for the extremely long train.
No.
So here I am, sort of organising my route, knowing what I want to do, and then something
Look at this.
happens.
Look, Jamie, look. That's how you change your points. Look, you get out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, look, I'm not going to rub it
All
in
right.
anymore. But if you have to stop the train to get out to change the points, it's very, very much more difficult.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. I'm going across, and everything is right in the world. I'm enjoying life, having a great time.
Are you though?
Are you really?
No. I should change this one, and then I can do it all in one go, and then go back to the train, and
I just see that Sam puts every time I change a point, he just goes, no.
can we do a tally? Can we do a tally count for Jamie?
Yes, Jamie.
I don't think anybody's been disqualified 20 times in the same.
So at this point, I realise I'm coming up to a train, and it does not click.
Oh, you can hijack this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. But I didn't know this, so I thought, you know what? If I reverse out of the way, then it'll be on its way, right?
I was getting very confused here because it wouldn't let me change the direction, and I couldn't work out why I couldn't interact with it. And I was like, "What's going on? Why can't I do this?" And then I don't, and then I get really confused and try and I thought, well, I'll just do it. I'll just go down there and I'll follow it, and I'll see where it gets to.
So I'm very generously trying to let this train pass now.
How is it going to pass you?
I thought it was
You're not just going to jump
No,
over the other line.
you end up having to do what I do, which is I've left the yard. This is the finishing line that I'm going past right now.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I'm being pursued by the
It did not
flipping
compute.
shunting combo.
I start reversing, and obviously I'm like, why are you following me? And it takes me much longer than it should to realise where it's trying to go.
I'd
You see
just
the
like to
minute I
point out that Jamie is now hooking up his first bank of wagons.
Yeah.
I mean, he may be disqualified, but he's the closest to being in the lead.
Yeah.
So you might be able to see on my screen right now, I'm paying so much attention to where I need to try and be that I'm not paying attention to what else is on any of the tracks.
Sweet.
So, I mean, there is, I think you can probably see, oh, not quite yet, you can't quite yet see. I spend so much time at this point that I end up just getting myself into a bit of a state and just think, screw it, I'm going to do something, I'm just going to go and just see where it takes me.
There you go. Jamie's got his first his first group.
Yep.
So again, I am still reversing with this.
It's still
with
following
this,
you.
Yeah, it's still following me, and I'm still reversing, and you will see, and I realise what's happening, and you will see the decision I make.
Shunt it. Go on. Ram it.
Ram it like I did.
That's where, right, this is where I realised, I was like, oh no, I know where it wants to go. And there's the decision. I know what I'm doing.
You decide violence is the way forward.
I just, I know, you go up. I try and let you go past.
So she's still feeling like, don't do it.
You're gone. I had no idea if it was going to work.
Yeah, but if you don't try these things, how will you find out?
Yeah, and then I said, just give it lots of throttle. You'll be fine.
Just making sure all the coupling's unlocked, because I can do that at about 6 miles an hour and nothing's going to derail. Or, as I found out, 30 miles an hour.
Here is where my problem hits, I think.
Your problem. Do you push
Yeah, here we go. James is
There
about
we
to
go.
execute a manoeuvre.
I was like, well, you're in my way. I need to get there. What do I do?
What do you do?
Oh dear.
James made a new friend.
And I'm like, well, at this point, I was like, this was my only plan of attack. What do I do if I can't get through this way? So I tried to move off, and then I think it just doesn't move, and then I'm like, well, what do I do? That was my route into the area that I needed to get to. So, well, what do I do? What do I do?
What
Did you do?
Well, I did. Well, I'll let.
You're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
That's all part of the rich mystery of the event.
The anticipation is killing me.
I'm now on to my last wagons as well.
Yeah? No. You do a thoroughly good job, Jamie. You just break all the rules in doing so. Other than that, it's flawless.
I went for the slow and steady approach.
There you go. I'm finally approaching the actual junction. Didn't take long. No, 10 minutes out of my way. Not a problem.
I was like, I'm trying to put some gas on it. No, not working. Not being able to shunt this big beastie. So, do I go forward? Yes, let's go forward. Let's try and go forward. See if that works, and see if it wants to follow me.
And the thing is, it should do, because this is a usable locomotive. You just got to switch it over into being a trailing loco.
And then for some reason, I couldn't get the train started again.
What, you just can't get moving again? Is this a sad story? Do you just give up?
Wait for it. No spoilers.
This is the moment where you're flipping your
No,
left.
here's Jamie. Jamie's got everything now. He's just cruising to victory.
Yeah, I was just like, right, I don't need to speed too much. I was like, yep.
Yeah, checking all the points along the way. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Let's switch that one as well.
I was being prepared. I don't know. I just misread it. I misread it, and there we go. But
Try
And
to
wait.
restart the loco.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even flag that one. Naughty.
yeah, he didn't
Or
flag
this
that
one.
one. Or
No.
that one.
So is JD still struggling then?
JD tried to restart the loco, did not work.
I mean, to be fair, he has been there for a few minutes now, just kind of going, nothing is working.
Flip that switch.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Not now in the middle of something.
I'm getting a call at this point. You can't hear it, but Teams is ringing. This is just explaining why that I'm sat all of a sudden just doing nothing, just stood here going, yes, this is where I want to be. But when the big boss drops you a quick call, you kind of go, oh, I better say I'm just in the middle of something, Paul.
At this point, this is sort of 4 hours into my experience.
Yeah.
And I'm thoroughly fed up at this point.
You could have just disconnected your train, you know.
I mean, in retrospect, I could have done.
In retrospect, yes. That would probably have been the move.
How long do you try pushing all the buttons?
Oh, there is a fight going, a battle of wills here between James and an inanimate train.
No. It's almost sad.
Hey, look, I passed the signal. There you go.
There you go. There's Jamie's victory lap right there.
Well done, Jamie.
There we go.
So Jamie would have won had he not been a dirty cheat.
Jamie would still be going had he not been a dirty cheat, because he would have had to have stopped before every set of points.
There we go. I thought I'd acknowledge the safety systems as well. Oh, you might have noticed as well. I can't remember whether it's on this route or the previous one. I did do a bell just for good measure.
That's true.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether I did the bell now actually.
Just for the sake. Could be the bell.
Tap out, tap out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the top deck of your four players here, neither of us have actually reached our wagons yet. But we're getting close.
Is there a button that I haven't pressed in this cab? Oh, right now.
I think you've pressed them all multiple times. Can almost hear you there going like, I just don't know what. I just don't understand.
I was precariously close to a breakdown at this point.
I got a message not long after.
Children play this and they do all right.
What was in that? Sorry.
I got a message from you not long after the challenge, and you were like, "This was the worst one yet." Now I understand why.
I got frustrated at that point because I wanted to jump off the train while I'd set it very gently in motion to go and set the points while it was moving.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Unstoppable, but that doesn't mean that it's a cautionary tale in the slightest. No, I thought, but no, it doesn't let you do that. Anyway,
No,
James,
I did
James is still persisting. Look, yeah, let's use that one again. Yeah, that might be it.
Sam, I did the same. So when I stopped on one of them, I hadn't realised I'd stopped on a hill, and I tried to get out of the train to move one of the to change one of the points, and I came back and my train wasn't there, and I had it had gone all the way down the hill.
Oh,
and
you
it's quite a
beauty.
long hill.
Oh no, that's superb. That's the way it's meant to be played.
Sadly, I was not recording that one, so.
You running up? There we go.
Yep.
There
There
we
we
go.
go. I'm out. Screw this. I'm done.
Okay. So the battle of the somewhat lost is now underway. This, incidentally, I've just gone up the junction that I was intending to do originally.
I genuinely think
Before being confronted by various locos that were just not going to play ball.
Yeah.
I
I think I
genuinely
learned
think
that in the so obviously I did not use, but I knew that when I was looking at where the locomotives were, because funnily enough, when I hit the train, I actually did that the first time, and I thought, right, okay, yeah, and I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, what should I do next time to try and So I was like, so I thought, right, okay, I'll do the same thing, but I'll make sure I set the points before I reach it. But what I didn't know was that basically the AI loco sets the points ahead of it.
Yeah.
So that's why you couldn't change the points. So basically, that's when I come barreling up, thinking I've already changed the points. Yeah.
That's when you do ramming speed, Jamie.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Now, if you look at the two remaining drivers here and where they both are on the track, you might observe it's really close.
How did it take you so long when you got to that other point way ahead of me?
Because I fought against the train that was blocking it, didn't work.
Fought against the chairman.
So I pulled out from there, and the double header was coming up on me, and I went, oh, I'll get out of his way, and it decided to follow me all the way down the line, so I had to leave the yard and then come back again.
So when you were like being all smug about changing,
I nailed the
ahead
start,
of everything.
and had I just got there 5 seconds earlier, we would not now be having this conversation, because I would have made my points.
Yeah.
I'd have been done by now, or I might have been done by now.
I feel like my nice casual approach to this has worked out quite well.
Hare
so
and the
far.
tortoise.
Hare and the tortoise.
I think I just spent 90% of my time just stuck there in my run.
Just doing this, James.
Yep, just.
I mean,
Pressing all the buttons.
I think it's legit. I think that's role playing.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would have done in that position had I been actually driving the train. So.
Yep. I mean, I think you're the first one to rage quit out of a challenge. You can give
I'll
yourself
take
that. Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
take that.
So based on where we are now, who's finishing first?
I think you are.
We are both
Because
approaching first hookup.
I'm still not like overly confident at this point.
I think you've missed your junction, Nat.
And I've done that.
Yeah.
You spent so long on.
Like, hold on, I changed the point.
You spent so long on the map as well, Nat, for that.
I know. I was very unhappy about it, and then
You got to check this for a nice bit of hooking up to my wagons as well. I don't do a Jamie on there. Everyone expects me to just thrash it into everything all the time, and I go, no. There we go.
I was hitting them at like 5 miles an hour, and I was like, right, we're in. Check the coupling. Yep, all good. Right, off. You know.
So, Sam, can you tell us if there were any more disqualifications?
hey,
Why do you want to know?
I just want to know if there is an outright winner or where everybody is.
There is a definite outright winner.
oh, I think it's him. Look at that smirk.
I know what's coming up.
That's just reversing at 20 miles an hour back up the hill.
Yeah, well, I've gone past the wrong thing.
Right, I'll go, right, got my first set. I'm out of here.
Really hope you make a really big mistake. I'd quite like to win this one. I'm not counting on it. But
Sam has stayed very quiet there.
your brake
What
pressure's
the hell?
off.
There you go. There you are. Brakes done, and let's go. Forgot to put my headlights on. Well, let's have those on as well.
Bit of sand.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Don't say it.
What have you done?
Don't say it. Because I'm on full thrash. I was going like, oh, okay. Oh, maybe I've left a handbrake on the wagons. That could be it. Are we connected properly? Do you have to do some hoses? No. correctly identifying the problem, of course, which is
Yeah.
the brakes on the wagons aren't releasing. You're going, yeah, boy, maybe that's something. Let's just climb over here.
Thoroughly inspecting everything.
Well, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a conductor's job. I'm making sure that everything is fit for travel, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. Handbrake's released. I go, okay, all right, okay. It's not that one.
That meanwhile is just
That's not it. No.
14 miles an hour is the recommended speed to shunt. What are you having trouble with? I don't understand. Why
No,
can't you move?
you won't understand, and I'll explain why you don't understand when, if and when I get to a solution.
Because I think I saw it.
I think I think many people watching this will know exactly what I haven't done, and I think Jamie probably knows what I haven't done.
Yeah.
So I realised.
Couple.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. I was like pretty sure that when you drive into it at 14 miles an hour, you're a bit too close. So I thought I'll back off and then do it gradually.
Do it at 14 miles an hour again.
Just ram it. Just keep.
So then I do it nice and gently.
Right,
No.
we'll go a bit of brake on. We'll go a bit of brake off. Just kind of go. Oh, maybe it's just having a moment. It's just ease the brakes through there.
What is going on?
And then I go for my usual solution to everything, which is, well, let's see how it responds to max power.
Just then
Slap it in run 8, bang some sand down, off we go.
Or not.
So I realised I was like creeping closer, so I thought I'll just wait.
It really just like.
You're waiting for
wait,
gravity
wait
to
for
do
it.
your coupling for you.
And I was like, beautiful.
Well, I'm sure your employers would give you a certificate of delicacy for having.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, this is after ramming into it at 14 miles an hour, so I think the damage has been done at this point.
And then I was like, I don't know if it's actually coupled or not. I was like, is it? Isn't it? And so I go out and look.
I can't believe that Nat is catching up to Sam at this point.
And I don't even know if it's coupled.
Okay, because I've just done something really stupid. Or rather, not done something. And I go, I just don't understand.
And I was like, that looks right.
Look, I'll use the external camera. I'll thump it. Okay, no, there's no dice here. I go there. What haven't I done? I've done everything. Everything should be right. It's all. I've checked everything. Maybe the game doesn't let these wagons move, because I'd recorded this before you'd done any of yours.
Yeah.
And I go, oh dear, maybe I've set up a challenge that can't be completed because the wagons don't move.
I briefly lost my train as well, though.
Yeah.
Have you gone to the wrong wagon?
Blaming
No, you got to
everything.
the right ones.
And I've got the right ones.
Yeah.
I'm blaming everything but myself at this point. But at the same time, in the back of my head is going, you've missed something. You've missed it.
I
Hey,
love
that's
Can
got
I just say,
wagon.
I love how you've got some of the greatest deliveries in there as well. Is it Sparmies you've got in there?
Yeah, I've got Sparmies one in there. I had a load of them, and then when I saw them there, I was like, ooh, cool.
Nice shot, though. Look at that.
That is a cracking shot.
Cracking stationary shot.
Stick that on the back of the box. Yeah, loving the train. I'm looking to see if I can see the wheels spinning. I want to see some sparks coming off it while I'm just hating the train.
Do you figure out what's wrong with it?
You're going to have to wait and see.
Let's see, yeah.
I
I
can't
feel like Sam is in the world of pain that I was about 10 minutes earlier. So did you try doing that, Sam?
No. I did a little bit of it, but just to see if there was a button that I hadn't pressed.
So
I
you
should
did that,
have pressed. Yeah, I know. I mean, based on the success that you had from it, James, perhaps I should have. But I come up with a different solution.
don't tell me you grab a different train.
You just gonna have to wait because it's happening anytime soon.
That's done really well. You've now got all the wagons. You now go.
Have I got all of them?
I don't think.
Well, no,
I'm about to get all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Actually,
so
see how
at this point, I'm going. What else could it be? What haven't I've just missed something, or the game doesn't let these wagons move.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Yep, this happened.
So actually, Matt has indirectly helped both
There you
Matt
go.
and Jamie on
It
this.
helped both me and Sam.
Cut off to freight. I hadn't set the cut off to freight.
Oh, and I knew that from the start. I was like, I know what he hasn't done.
Yeah. Yeah. But usually, because I'm running a consist that's already set, I rarely use a loco in isolation.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
Yeah, getting sassed by the professor. There you go. Oh yeah, let's put that on freight, shall we? That'll probably help. I even know where it is. It's ridiculous, but it's because every train that I ever take over is already set up, and therefore the cut-off is set correctly.
Yeah, and I wasn't caught out by it. because
And I
broke
never
Matt.
bothered checking.
So Nat, just say that again.
So I wasn't caught out by it because before starting the run, I couldn't get the train started at all. So I rang Matt.
Yeah, Matt gave you the startup procedures.
So
look,
I
I'm
feel like
moving.
I feel like a chump here. I'm the only one that's not asked for help from Matt, or
I didn't ask help.
or got disqualified.
I did ask for help, but I got disqualified.
But you see, the thing is that within the spirit of the law, I counted it as part of my time. So if you need help, you're allowed to go and get help. Of course, you're allowed to go and get help. But the clock's still running while you get help. You don't get to just kind of go, oh, well, just wibbly, get rid of that.
So I'd asked for help because during my practice run, I couldn't even get it started. At which point, I rang Matt during my practice to get it started. And then for the actual challenge, I knew how to get it started because Matt had helped me in my practice.
And I'd actually rung Nat as well when I was struggling.
That was the blind leading the blind.
Oh, I've found quite a fun bug. So it doesn't actually give you control of the loco until you sit in the chair. If you haven't sat in the chair, you don't have control over it. And I never found that out until afterwards, because when I start the train up at the start, I do I charge the pumps, and that all sounds fine, and then I turn it over, and the engine doesn't do anything at all. And then I go and sit in the chair, and the engine immediately roars into life. Shouldn't do that. It shouldn't start at all unless I've sat in the chair, because it's not treating you as having control. So it's as unintended design goes, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, it's like the train's going like, he's done everything correctly. He just needs to do one more thing, and we'll start.
So Nat's coupling up to her second
I'm
batch here.
approaching my second anytime soon. I'm just figuring out my points.
No, I'm wondering if you two have been caught out by something on this one, because I did get caught out with this one as well.
I'm getting out to make sure my coupling is right.
Oh, look at this pro start. We're completely cool with this now. Just got to go, I know all the things I have to check. But I like it. I mean, the whole having to get out on foot and check stuff and then get back in, it's what makes shunting so much fun.
Could you imagine how long this would have taken me, bearing in mind I, at this point, didn't know how to sprint?
It's no, James. It's the same as in every other video game.
Shit.
Yep. Well, I know that now. But can you imagine? How long that would have taken?
Yes.
It did take you a minute or two to do the opener.
So now I'm trying to figure out where's the finish line.
Yeah,
Nope,
you're looking the
not
wrong
it.
way down the track for starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Meanwhile,
was like, that doesn't look right. And like, you can't see it, but I've got the picture of the finish line like on another screen. And I'm like, right, zoom out, that'll help.
but
There we
unless
are.
you get
There it
underway
is.
soon, I'm gonna catch it, and everybody
You know
knows
he's gonna
I drive
put it on.
fastest.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, it's definitely up this end, I think. Yeah, there it is. Is it? Let's zoom in and check. Just going to double check with the one I've got here. Nope, there it is. There it is. I think.
Whereas I'm just going like, do not derail this train now. Do not derail anything by hitting it too hard.
Yeah.
So now I need to make sure that my points are all lined up as well, you know? Like, can I get out? So let's follow the line. Like, no, it looks pretty good.
Oh, that was close, Sam. That
I was
very
only
close.
doing 4 miles an hour. It was fine.
I was saying Nat's done it with 14. You're sorted.
Yeah. I mean, I think Sam is going to win here because I dawdle on the map for so long.
Yeah,
And I
but
like,
you are
Very
now
close, I
moving
think.
though.
yeah, I am moving.
I've still got to go and connect
Couple,
up.
yeah.
True.
I mean, that's decelerating at this point.
Yeah, you're rolling
Yes, I'm
backwards
going
down the
I'm
hill.
rolling in the direction.
Yeah, there was me going, have I got it? And I went like, no, I don't think you do have it. I went, oh poo. I was hoping I didn't have to go and connect manually.
Yeah. But you actually have to get out of connect.
Yeah, fine, back it up again then. And I like that too. I like that it doesn't just auto connect, that you have to get
Yeah.
out and go and do it.
Yeah.
As far
No,
as challenges go, I absolutely love this one. I think this one's great
Oh, yeah.
because you
No, I have a
you
lot
can
of fun.
choose how to complete it. If you decide to complete it, James.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, what have you learned from this for next time?
It's the shifted sprint.
Read the rules again.
I might
and again.
redo it actually, where I do allow the performance enhancing drugs of you can change all the points on the map or using the spirit camera.
So I could be speeding here, and I was like, but I don't know if I'll derail, so I'm actually pretty. I'm not doing too badly on the speed.
Yeah, I just had a couple of problems timing my braking to the point that I didn't bounce off.
Yeah.
I think if you hadn't tried to go off, Sam, you might have caught Nat. At this point, unless Nat makes
Could
a
have, might have,
fundamental-
didn't have, whatever.
Unless
I
Nat
win
makes a
this
fundamental
one-
error, then
I'll be very surprised if like how I've managed to win this one. I mean, really, guys, come on. So,
Well, the coupler's locked. No, you've got to unlock it and then lock it again. Go on, do it. There you go.
There we go.
so I also wasn't confident that I was driving.
Oh,
towards the
yeah.
line.
Yeah, I know. You were.
There.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is the finish line. No, it's the finish line. Is it? No, it's the yeah, no.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it's
you
the finish.
decided you want to stop here just to check that things aren't going wrong.
Is it the finish line?
Are
No, it might not be.
are
the
you all
finish
lined up?
No, it's the finish line. But is it?
Oh, it
No,
would have been heartbreaking
stop
if that
just
wasn't
to make
that
sure
moment next to you.
it's the finish line.
Oh, this is going to be quite interesting, actually. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. It's getting
Look how
closer.
close I am to the finish line, and I've just stopped.
you know what I was saying about fundamental error, Nat.
Never claims to be an expert.
Yeah, and then, I mean, of course, there's a moving train that's leaving the yard as well that you kind of go like, if that thing is causing red signals or I drive into it, I am not going to be impressed.
Yep.
And Sam is absolutely gunning it, and
Yeah, and I'm still
trying to figure out.
That's definitely right.
Because I record mine first, I've no idea if I'm in the lead. I've no idea if I'm at the back or anything like that. I always drive it in the same way that I would if I was just playing for funsies.
This is proper hare and tortoise. You've taken a nap near the finish line, Nat.
I know. But I've been a tortoise the whole way through here. Like,
Yes, inverted the fable.
Sam's getting to the rear end of that train now.
oh, he's getting a sneaky, like, cinematic
Lucky.
shot.
Well, there's nothing more I can do from here. I'm on the right line to get all the way to the finish line. Just thump it and soak in some views.
Yeah.
I know. It's actually closer than I thought it was going to be because I'm incompetent. Okay.
There we go.
So it becomes
Yeah,
a question of
catch
can
up.
I close the distance after your unmandated pit stop?
I mean, possibly.
Oh, it's tight.
I
It's
think
very
gonna be
close.
tight. I think Nat might have just done it quickly enough.
He's at 27 mile an hour
I'm
and that's
so
22.
sorry for
I mean,
everybody
that's
watching.
going up. Oh,
Like,
here comes the signal.
It's actually the second signal is the finish line, but it doesn't really matter.
Second.
If you're going to pass the first one first, you'll pass the second one first as well.
I don't know if I went past the second one.
You did.
Oh, I did. I'm still checking that it's like I'm like, right, that's it. That's the finish.
But I was staggered at how close this ended up being, and that it came down to the two people that had been faffing around for the most time.
I can't believe I won. Okay. I mean, that was incredibly close.
What is it? A matter of probably about 45 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, about that. I mean, a clear victory, definitely. But
I feel so sorry for the viewers having to watch me stop and look at the map to check like that.
You added the drama now. That's what it was. You were just adding a bit of
Yeah,
drama.
that was exactly it.
and across the line. So there you go. That was fun.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, so much so that the professor said, like, "Oh, I'm going to go try it myself." He comes back and goes, 15 minutes, and I go, "You used the map to change the points, didn't you?" He goes, "Yes." I said, "Read the instructions, Matt."
Yeah, but then he did, and then he comes back and goes like 23 minutes.
It would have been very entertaining to see Matt do this
I know.
because he would be so confident going into this, and then would have been insta disqualified, and
Completely
to see the look
disqualified.
on his face
Yeah.
would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
I think
I
we need
want to see Matt
invite
go up against Jamie, though. I think that's going to be a good run, that one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I might allow them to use the map. No, I'm going to make them get out because it will go against their very instincts, and I bet one of them will fall foul of it and unthinkingly change the points without having got out of the cab to do so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's your 4-up challenge. Coming up next, we've got some more American Freight with me, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks very much.
you.
I'd say
It's been
thank you very
brilliant.
much, Sam, but I wouldn't really mean it. Have a lovely evening.
You are watching the March Madness here on Railfan TV, and coming up for you next is me, So I don't know why I'm bothering to introduce it, but there you go. Coming up next is me doing a bit of Oakville Subdivision, and then after that is my my alter ego taking on a bit of Cane Creek. It'd be good if there was some kind of transitionary music here, but there genuinely isn't. So let's get to the show. Right, hello, good evening. You'll have to let me know if the sound is askew in any way at all. I've done my best to try and make sure it's all properly balanced for you, but you never know. So let's get this show on the road. We're out in where are we? Subdivision Oakville, and doing a bit of Canadian work today, and we're going to take this for a spin. The sound's good right now, Sonic, but yeah, no, we are live, just in case there's any confusion. Definitely live, this one. No, the sound will be fine right now because I haven't got the train going. To set the freight count out, freight. Oh, that's an interesting notion. That'll never catch on. Now, before we get underway, let's get the headlights set. Front to a white, please. Yep, come on. Just flip. These rotating switches that are most awkward to use in the entire thing. Get the brakes off. Right, and I've still got a few more lights to put on. Give me a moment. It's worth it. I mean, you should always endeavour to get your lights set correctly. Give me maximum on my dimmage. There, front headlights to bright, and then as we head up here, we just need to stick the number lights on as well, and we're good to go. Oh, and then a bit of window action. Obviously, it's always best to stay ventilated when you're doing this kind of thing. Right, I'll do you plenty of exterior cameras and all of that kind of business, and we'll be away. Right, speaking of which, let's get on the way. And we should be off. There we go. Right, so it's a nice little jaunt. This one takes about an hour, as advertised, and there you go. Have some of this. Yeah. There we are. Super. Yeah. Good. Right, so there we are. We're off and rolling. It's a healthy jaunt that we've got going on, and all I've got to remember to do is set the points correctly. Ironically enough, but having spent so much time doing North American. Oh, now I'm not supposed to be speeding. Hang on. Sorry. No, I took my eye off the ball there for a moment. We're attempting to play this one legitimately. There we go. That's the ticket. Yeah, right. Just easy does it. We're not rinsing this one through. It's all going to be good. It's nice to see me back on the stream. You'll see me on the stream from time to time. I'll be around doing Let's Play stuff. I'm planning to do some more scenario planner stuff as well. And also the lovely community team will have me on as a guest developer from time to time, and that'll be a delight. It'll be interesting to be on the receiving end rather than dishing it for once. I mean, I can't complain. I've dished quite enough over the years, so that's all good. Yeah. Now, interestingly, because I'm playing a scenario here, I can't remember which scenario it is. I'll look it up after we're done. But interesting, it's like the team putting this together purposefully set the points in we're going to catch you out, but they've got to get up earlier than that to catch me out, because I tried this earlier, and therefore I know what's shaking. Now, hold on, it's this one, that one. Switch that over. There we go. Oh yeah, no such authenticity this time around. No, I'm gonna cheat and use the map. Right about there. Well, that has to be said. I did rather approve of Jamie's free-spirited camera operations to go and change points, but unfortunately, it made that challenge significantly easier. Challenge lived up to the hype, though. You've got to admit that was some pretty solid work. I can't say what I'm working on. No, I'm not allowed. Can't tell you what I'm working on at the moment. Other than it is intended to make the game better for players. There you go. And as much as You know, as I routinely mention, you know, as much as I am not the archetypal player, I have spent so much time talking to archetypal players that I know exactly the kinds of things that are most important. There we go. Right, so nice and gently does it this first time around. Pretty sure I set the last set of points properly as well. Can we see from here? Well, we'll take a guess. If I'm wrong, well, then we'll back it up. No, got it right. There we go. Good. Right, let's... whoop, there, power off. Maybe a dab brakes would be in order. Maybe a dab more brakes would be in order. There you go, that's the ticket. That's the stuff. And deploy. Super. Right, you know what? I will get out for this one. Just to make sure that we're properly connected. Because I like getting out. I mean, we were discussing in the chat earlier on, discussing the potentials were multiplayer to ever be a thing. Nothing to announce with regard to multiplayer. So this is all entirely hypothetical. But I think the first thing you would need to add to make multiplayer exciting is alternative roles. So the ability to play as a conductor when doing freight, or a train manager / ticket collector on a passenger service, I think would be immediately good fun, because then you would have all of the opportunities available to interact as a team. I think team play is all important, and this is one thing that shunting-based gameplay is really good at, or switching-based gameplay is really good at, is teamwork and having to set various different things up. Oh, come on, give me access to it. There you go, and that one, please. Good. Yeah, I know. The cruel irony is I know all about setting cut-off switches and setting to lead or dead, and yet I forgot it when it mattered in the challenge. Oh well. Right, let's get these lights back off again. That's rear. You want the fronts. Front. It's... I thought the front lights were... Oh no, they're over here. There you go. Right. Yeah, we'll leave the... we'll turn ditch lights off. We'll turn step lights off. And then I think we're about... Oh, gauge lights. We might as well save the... No, I didn't bother turning them on. Oh, well, in that case, I guess we're done here. Close them on up. I've left the windows open, but, you know, I was just in there, so we're ventilating for whoever's in next. Down, please. Down. Please. There we go. Good. Right. Step in the way you know how to step in. More straightforward fashion. Okay. And I quite like, in this scenario, I quite like the change ends as well. It's quite good fun. Apologies for darting around. I'll slow my movements down a little bit so you don't all get motion sickness while I'm charging around. So that in, and then that to forwards. But before we do any of that, we'll stick the lights back on again, because running effectively is all important. Stick the cutout valve to freight. Oh, that's something I'm never going to forget. No, not after that last one. That's ingrained now. That is flipping cutout valves. Right, what have you missed? You've missed something, but I don't think it's critical. So let's get the brakes off. That should do the trick, and then let's get underway. There you go. 250 points for successful progress, I should say so. Super job. Well, there we are. I think we can afford to switch to a little bit of external cam here. Alright, super. And then no speeding. No, we're being legit. As legit as I get. And I tell you, the more that I play Train Sim World, and I'm a couple of 100 hours in now, the more I actually enjoy driving it properly, or operating it properly, I should say, since I'm in the US here. I'm not, I'm in Canada. Just careful, they'll be up in arms. No, the more I appreciate trying to follow some procedures. My knowledge of procedures is not expert, but I really, I genuinely enjoy trying to do it properly. Now, in a challenge, I will always I'll drive to the spirit of the law, or rather the spirit of the scoring system, rather than necessarily following the rules of the rail. But I see that as a perfectly legitimate thing to do. You set that? No, the points are set wrong. Oh, it's just sent to flipping test me. Right, okay, brakes on, please. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I missed it. I should have said. Should have occurred to me that if they were going to set the points in a wacky fashion to start with, it was always going to be. To be fair, I did come from this direction, so I possibly should have anticipated that. Right, there we are. Right, brakes off. No, you just don't you dare deploy emergency brake, and you won't get it started again. And there you are. About notch 3, maybe notch 4 to get us underway. Where's the real me? I'm on in an hour. Him is on in an hour. Yeah, my headlights are so good they generate sparkles. I mean, for those sparkle fans out there, but they are pretty effective. I'm going to put the bell on just to warn people that I'm going backwards. Not that there's anyone around, but, you know, safety first. And all of that business. Right, now, where am I going? I want this next set here. You know what? I'm going to use Jamie Cam for this one. Right about here, please. Nope. Yep. Just look. Choose the one that I want. Thank you. Right. Right. Brakes on. Power off. Power was off. Doesn't really matter. It's right. Bell off. Let everybody know that I'm leaving again. Right, and off we jolly well toddle. No, I didn't say reverse or reverse. Don't you be giving me false information on there. I said we were going the right way. Hold on, are we? You're going up the wrong one now. Shouldn't be. No, that's good. The other thing I've grown to appreciate is trains moving past the camera slowly. Love that stuff. Can't get enough of it. In fact, I'm going to set up for a bit of train coming past the camera slowly. I go a bit far away, it has to be said. Up a bit. Yeah, about here. About here would probably be quite good. Yeah, about that sort of angle, about there. Turn all of this business off. And then we'll just wait to happen. Is it better than the remote in Derail Valley? I love the remote in Derail Valley. I think that's fantastic. But Derail Valley is a very different experience, but I love it. It's tremendous. It's got a. I think Derail Valley more than any other train game, full stop, really conveys the kind of the viscerality of it. And I realise that that's a bit of a marketing word. But at the same time, it's just so physical, and I guess that makes sense given that it's a VR game. It makes sense that it is that way. But throwing yourself off the little trains and just allowing them to run free. It's a recipe for disaster, obviously, and for me personally, that's part of the appeal. But you get a very good sense of the heft. Why are we wheel slipping? Come on, train. No, get a grip on yourself. Are you snagged on something? Alright, okay. Just had a moment. Obviously a duff valve on one of the wagons. I'm not entirely convinced I know what's happened there. Right, let's come to a full stop and then try and get it underway again. Thank you. Right, are we? If the reverser would kindly point forwards, that would be jolly helpful. Right, and release. Did I slap the reverser into reverse? I can't help it. I genuinely can't help it. It's when I'm using an exterior camera, every instinct in my muscle memory is screaming to use W, A, S, and D to move the camera around. Everything, ever. Yeah, no, that was on me. I slapped it into reverse, which it shouldn't have let me do, but it did. Well, that was exciting. I wonder what you could do if you tried that at full speed. Well, there are times to try those things out, and this is not that time. But you can bet I will be trying it out. That's exactly my cup of tea. Yeah, go on, keep rolling, keep rolling. Okay, this is only a go via. We don't have to stop here. We're stopping a little bit further because we're going to back up and connect to one of these other banks of wagons. Yeah, it's the challenge of having to unlearn. Having to unlearn how you move around is desperately challenging. I should learn the controller. I probably should. You're not wrong. I probably should. I've got a controller sat right here, but what can I tell you? Anytime something goes, would you like to use the keyboard? I go, oh yes, yes please. And it has to be said, for moving the camera around, the mouse is certainly the way to go. Although that said, using a joystick to move the camera around gives you much greater, or rather much smoother control. So for those who make videos, having that ability to pan or tilt very smoothly is definitely welcome. Right. What is the man in the hat with the arrows for? I don't know. I saw that earlier and I don't recall having seen it before. So, genuinely, I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know what's that? I've never seen it. I've honestly never. It might have been there for ages and I've just never looked at it. It means that I'm in the classic control scheme. Oh. Well, there you go. It happens in old scenarios. Thank you, Callum. That would explain. I never play scenarios. That explains why I've not seen it before. There you go. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. That's it. I usually timetable is my normal poison. Just because there are some days where you just fancy a quick run at high speed to try and stop in the correct location. Might just be me, but I suspect I'm not alone. Right, there you go. That's it. There you go. And you can do kernel cam using this camera with a controller. Oh, you can do it with I think it's number 3 maybe that you can. Yeah, you can kernel cam with this. Matt uses this as a pretend kernel cam, and I tell him every single time that no, that doesn't count. It's the free camera or nothing to do a proper kernel cam. For those who are utterly baffled as to what the term means, I'll aim to give you a demonstration in a moment. But it's something that I do rather a lot on the YouTube to appreciate. It's basically just a tracking shot, but it's a tracking shot whereby the subject that you're following is moving at a different speed to the camera, and the nature of the parallax that you get there is really rather splendid to see. Yeah, I know. Just there it is. So, because old scenarios are forcing the use of the classic, the classic control scheme, it's a little indicator to say no, it's not you. It's not that immersive controls are non-functioning. They're non-existent on this particular route. Gotcha. Right. British Film Guy, you did 5 timetable services in an hour the other day. I'm just guessing here, but those won't have been the longest timetable services ever. That would, in which case, that would have to be, unless you were just doing stock moves and the like, that would have to be something like London Commuter doing the run to, oh heck, what's it called? Clapham. Surely. On this route. Okay. Actually, no, this route does have some, it does have some really short services, you're not wrong. I've left it a little bit late for the brakes. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, that was a robust connection. Maybe not the best. But I think we're there. Let's just make sure that we've got a connection. It certainly looks good to me. Where's me? Yeah, the couple of no. Take no chances. All right, unlock, relock. There we go. Okay, and now we're off to Burlington. Super job. Right, stick it into first, and then power off. Yeah, I know it was. Look, it wasn't quite as harsh a hit as Jamie's collision in the 4-up, but it wasn't far off. Doing 9 to 10 miles per hour is arguably, I don't think there's necessarily an argument to be had, but is arguably a little bit quick to be running into some couplers. Right, and we're off. Okay, now we're not going to speed down here. We're going to embrace the slow. So I'm going to keep the UI on just long enough to lock my speed in at about the right amount. We're on the flat at the moment, so probably notch 2 would keep us more or less on the mark. And we've got a 15 mile per hour speed limit at the moment. Yeah, notch 2 is gentle acceleration. I'll take it. Gentle acceleration will do me. Off and away. Yeah. You see, with the controller in, you could do a very slow pan on this. Yeah, it's where joysticks really come into their own. And obviously, where the mouse really comes into its own is if you need to point at something right here, right now, it's dead easy to do so. That's enough bell for the moment, thank you. We'll save the bell until we're running the surface streets. We'll set up as though we've broken all kinds of railway law. No, maybe it's our job. We're a gantry engineer. It's just hanging out. Yes, joystick also allows you to tilt. Allows you to move up and down without tilting. Yes, absolutely. Nice. I approve of this. This is dead good, and it really allows you to appreciate the fidelity of the models as well. And I mean, some of the train models, it's just fantastic. Now, you know, I'm not the greatest authority on things, but at the same time, whether it's 100% authentic or not, I think it looks terrific. All right, we'll try a bit of this kernel cam business. We'll start from around mid-train because we're going to be quite a bit faster than the train. We get further away, we won't be quite so fast. And what we're aiming for is maintaining altitude or elevation while cruising alongside the train. A bit of foreground murk is always good, and as is a little bit of background parallaxing. I'm just a little bit too low down for that one to be brilliant, but that's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, right, arguably going a bit too quick, so we'll ease it back off again, and we'll take a moment or two in the cab. Now we do have an increase in speed limit coming up, mercifully, and that should be all good. Oh, I haven't turned my gauge lights on again. I always turn the gauge lights. I try and resist putting the cab lights on, but keep the gauge lights on where possible. Just allows you to see stuff. I'm sure I haven't got. There you go. Turn the automatic dimmer. That's not automatic. What is it? The amateur dimmer. ammeter, maybe. Could be. Oh, right. Oh, we can go. Okay, let's go. There you go. Oh, you rated that one, did you, Liam? Nice. Good. No, I don't... Look, here's the thing. With the cab lights, if I can't see what I'm doing, I will turn them on. For the most part, though, gauge lights are often sufficient. But if we... where do I leave the switch? There it is. But if you turn them on, it's just a bit... It's a bit too much. A little angle poise lamp over the controls here would be sufficient for my taste. But while, you know, we've got daylight outside, so that's, you know, that's all solidly good. I think we'll go for a bit of run 8. You like the warmness. I get that. No, I can understand that. Right. Got anyone foolish enough to be on this platform? Nope, there's school buses. You know that there's a whole bunch of kids at the school bus windows there doing the pull the air horn at you. I should have obliged them, really. You know, it's the generous thing to do. Mind you, all the kids are probably at school. Where are we? 8:24? Yeah, no. There are no kids on those buses. Right. Makes it more cosy, especially on rainy drives. Nice. No, you see, I think the next generation of immersion is we should sell a specialist pack that comes with a warm air blower and then 2 fans that you can place on either side of your head for when you've got the windows open. And maybe we could bring back scratch and sniff for authentic cab smells, including, you know, the infamous Dave was driving this last, wasn't he? Oh, crikey, I'm over limit. Please hold. Now, gently does it. Now, as an expert in derailing trains, the one thing not to do is brake too heavily while going through a set of switches. That's an almightily proficient way of throwing your train off the track. Warm air, yeah, because I always turn the air conditioning on. I turn the heaters on to maximum and then open the windows. Now that's, I mean, you know, everybody to each their own, obviously, but that's how I prefer to do it. Yeah, you got some more points. Right, can we go now, please? Yep. Just drops you to 30 while you go through that set of switches. Right. Can't wait for a train with a working fireplace in it. Not long to wait now. Not long to wait now. It's not far away. I even know when it's supposed to come out, but I can't tell you. On a casual Let's Play stream, that is not when we're going to announce things. No, and if we do, it means we've done it wrong. Used to have a Renault where I had to do that. Yeah. Is a UP switcher ever going to come to Sherman Hill? We know that switching is very is a big deal when it comes to US freight. It is a major facet of the game, and Matt and I have both been discussing switching and shunting in the last kind of week or so, purely off the back of the challenge that we just did, because you know, I was saying just how much fun it was. Well, we've got a passing train, and that means we need the exterior camera. There you go. There I go. And of course these auto racks are going to conceal the passing service. That's fair to say, it's giving it the beans. Nice. Yeah, so is there going to be a dedicated switcher for Sherman Hill, or for any US route for that matter? We've got nothing to announce at the moment, but suffice to say, it's the kind of thing that we recognise there's plenty of space in the schedule for that kind of thing. So put it on our, put it high up the things we would aspire to do kind of list. By the way, when opposing trains meet, they're required to dim the headlights and turn off the ditch lights so as not to blind the other crew. That's worth knowing. No, that's good. That is worth knowing. And Project Dacre, I'm going to say, is predicting the steam route to be out in mid-June. Okay. I'm not even going to give you an under or over on that one. That's a legit prediction. It's true. If you look at videos, trains or videos meeting, they'll dim their lights as they pass in front of the other train. No, it makes complete sense. It's a very logical thing to do. But no, that's the thing, is that I don't know this stuff, and therefore you've got to learn it somewhere. I shall endeavour, should we meet another service, I shall endeavour to do it properly. Now, if I knew the shortcut keys, that would be helpful, but I know where the controls are. I've got that one there, and my ditch lights are over there. Right, so I'm ready. I'm coiled. Can JD drive a horseshoe curve stream? What have you got? That's just mean. Yes, I think is the long and the short answer. I mean, you're going to see JD on the stream quite regularly. He's going to be your introducer in chief for new things coming up. It's going to be solid. Okay, now I could probably up the notches just a smidge here. I don't want to go too fast, just in case I come across a yellow followed by a quick red afterwards. But you would think that on a line that was primarily occupied by freight, that they would space the signals accordingly. Although that said, I bet money someone who actually reads signals will tell you, no, your distance signals are all good here, and that's fine. And you go, really? There's a lot of reds going on there. I desperately want to understand signals better. And I know I could just learn for myself. Go and watch half a dozen YouTube videos and study a couple of thousand pages of documentation, and you'll get it. There we go. Did JD used to be Jack Whitehall's body double? I doubt it, somehow. I've got a feeling that JD's taller than Jack Whitehall. And he runs marathons as well. JD is not. He's not just slim. I would say lithe. Yeah, he's a very healthy individual. Yes, that's why we get on so well. We share a similar ethic. Treat the body like a temple. That's why I keep the boots on the outside. Right, how far off are we? 5.5 miles to Burlington. And so far, not too much drama vis-a-vis failure to abide by the rules of the rail. And we're doing a reasonable clip now. So I'm going to try one more running alongside Cam, because the train should be faster than the camera now. In fact, the train is definitely faster than the camera. Here we go. A little bit too fast for the perfect shot, but that's quite pleasing as well. Obviously, it helps that we're on a straight section of track. But there you go. Crazy Dash, not really thrilled about Caltrain being layered onto this route. It feels it really immersion breaking. And yeah, I mean, I get that. I understand that. I mean, it makes sense that it may not be your cup of tea. But I think for those who are a little more flexible, and this is not to say that everyone should be tolerating things that are not true to life. Far from it. Everyone is free to choose for themselves where the line is with regard to accuracy versus just a bit extra. So yeah, layering Caltrain on I think is going to be fun for those who find it fun, and for those who dislike the immersion, that's totally understandable. Hopefully we manage to do enough things that are as close to accurate as we can make them, that it keeps everybody kind of happy. But I get it. Jack's at least as tall as me, 6 foot. Yeah, but I think JD's 6'2". He's not small. No. No, he's far bigger than you think, JD. You don't want to get on his wrong side. He'll give you a look. Yeah. Hopefully one day you guys get the Go Transit license. That'd be good. We know that's a popular one. Definitely. Yeah. No. It's definitely one that we want to procure, simply because it's so popular. Right. Adam mentioned it being worked on. He even showed the timetable. Yep, that's right. Yep. Yeah, a secondary timetable, and I think it's just because the route has that possibility open to it. So a little bit of just bending of reality allows us to run something that could be interesting. And I think once Scenario Planner reaches its kind of second phase, it'll get there someday. But once it reaches its second phase, we'll see all manner of weird and wonderful combinations that are being run on different lines, and ultimately it comes down to how much you're willing to suspend your disbelief in order to have a different kind of experience, versus the how close can people get to realistic timetables. We know that there are limitations with the Scenario Planner that have existed since it was introduced. It's not like we don't know what to change. It's simply a case of making the time to make those changes happen. I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm eager, nay keen for a Scenario Planner 2.0, as much as Natalie is probably keen for a Livery Designer 2.0. I want to be able to run, create full timetables. Just stuff trundling back and forth, because I'd probably set them up so that I could just switch train endlessly all day long. That would make me cheery. Is it still on hold? Yeah, it's still on hold because because we need the people who would be working on it to work on other things at the moment. But it's only on hold. It is not cancelled. Same as the second version of Livery Designer. That my new boss, the head of studio, was saying just today that if he doesn't get an undo function in Livery Designer, he's going to be very sad. Not his exact words, you understand, but I'm paraphrasing for effect. Yeah. No, I mean, there are very obvious things missing from both those tools, and when we get the second version out, the breadth of creativity that we're seeing in Creators Club will only go upwards significantly. Would we ever see any Larnroad Arian, which I have butchered the pronunciation of? Gaelic is... I need to study Gaelic. I need to study Gaelic so that I understand the pronunciation more than anything else. Is this a go via? Yeah, it is a go via. All right, well, keep the pace on then. Are we considering Irish railroads? We consider everything, and as the game moves forward, we will add more countries. They will always, the most releases will always come from our big three, because over the years of working on Train Simulator, we understand that that's where the majority of our players come from. Now, you could say there is a slight post hoc ergo propter hoc going on there. Yeah. After it, therefore, because of it. See? Yeah. Because we serve those three countries, that's why those three countries are the largest. Makes a bit of sense. But at the same time, we know that those are our largest constituents, but we also know that there are some major railfan countries that we are not looking after very well, and we want to extend into that. And before you all start jumping in with going, oh, would that include insert country name here? Yes, it probably would. But again, I've got nothing to announce for you. Right, what do you want from me now? That was only a go via. You didn't tell me to stop, but I did slow down a little bit just to be on the safe side. Talk to me. Oh, what have we got? 5 and a bit miles to Bayview Junction. And it's another go via. Okay, fine. The reason we use go vias is simply so that we can give you some points. Yeah, and also if you want to, you want to study the route a bit ahead of time, it kind of helps illustrate that. Has the Jubilee got its sound yet, or can I say? I can't say because I don't know. That's the only thing I can or can't say. I've never seen an official German train sim video. Do they have their own channel? Do they have their own kernel failure? Oh, if they did, I would want a collaboration immediately. Especially if they don't speak English very well, because I speak ein bisschen German, but not in any kind of coherent fashion, and so a German speaking stilted English while I'm doing stilted German, I think could be hilarious. This is the Oakville Subdivision that you're looking at here. It's been out for a while, but we're featuring North American freight this evening, so we're doing a tour of some classics. And what railroad? There we go. Yeah, we're in Canada. Yeah. How's my video tutorial coming on? Oh, I'm not on video tutorials at the moment. I probably will be again. Ooh, yeah, probably within the next month. I'll be back on video tutorial stuff. Yeah, we want to embed video tutorials into the game. Hopefully, that might not come out, so it might end up being a dedicated go look up channel. The first stuff that I'm hoping to make is going to be the absolute basics. So not for the likes of people who routinely watch these streams. These will be for people who pick the game up, either, they've got it for free via whatever means. Maybe it was a gift, maybe it's a copy that's just kicking around the house and they fancy giving it a go. So they love trains, but they don't understand games, or that games aren't their native dialogue. Just so that there is an easy place to look up things like switching your cutoff valve to freight, in the event that you're having, that you're having any level of difficulty, or what to do after accidentally triggering the emergency brake. These are the kinds of things that new players will trip up on, and then never be able to recover, because there is just not the help available. I also keep saying the words manual writer every time I get the opportunity. Technical writer for manuals, manual writer. So far, no progress. As soon as I make progress, I'll let you know. No. People go, yes, 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 yes. We know. So yeah, I mean, there are so many ways that we do not help our players, and we're incredibly grateful to players who help other players. Whether that's via a chat platform of some description, the forums or a Discord channel or a Facebook group or something like that. Incredibly helpful. Those who make video tutorials, incredibly helpful. But we want to make sure that we are doing something official as well. And frankly, we do need to do a better job at offering as much information as possible from the get-go. And that's before you get into things like signalling and safety systems and power switchovers and all of that kind of good stuff. So it's not that we're not aware of it, it's just that these things take time, and with a finite number of hands, you do have to prioritise. Hang on, there's a train coming. Probably missed it, but I think you'll appreciate the gesture nonetheless. I didn't see him till it was too late. Now, you see, in the real world, I'd have picked him up on radar. And then, I'd have been able to spot him, because this is obviously, that's what the radar gauge is for here. I jest. Yeah. What DLC to buy first? That is an excellent question, because there is no, it's, the thing to understand about the train simulation, right? Unlike other video games, is that you don't. First off, you definitely do not need them all. You only need the ones that interest you. So if you've already picked the game up, go play, and you haven't played the 3 routes that are in there. Go and muck around with the 3 routes that are in. So you've got London Underground, and then you've got Sandpatch Grade, and you've got the Kolnarchen as the 3 routes that come with it. Now, obviously, if you prefer trains from a particular country, that's a good way to go if you wanted to add to your collection. But you might find that different driving experiences, different operating experiences, you might find that you're from, I don't know, let's pick a country at random. Ukraine. You might say you're from Ukraine, and when time permits, you really rather enjoy doing a bit of US freight, and therefore, you know, we do have a good selection of US freight routes, unless you're a TSW addict who's bought them all anyway. Well, the best time to start your collection is immediately. Is when the game first releases is the best time to start your collection, because that way it's not all piling up on you in a hurry. And I did not spot that there is a speed restriction coming. Alright, it's going to work. It's going to work. We're going to be a little late on slowing down here, but it's not the end of the world. We won't be off by too much. We'll be off by a bit, but not too much. There you go, a bit more brake. You're not far off at all, you know. I'm going to make it. Oh, nice done. Yeah. There you go. Can't even remember why I have East Coastway. You'll have East Coastway because we did a deluxe pack when TSW2 launched, and that included East Coastway. East Coastway. I like East Coastway because it's simple, and that's not to denigrate it in any way at all. The 377 is a very good, in inverted commas, train to kind of learn on, purely because it's so straightforward to drive. And then the scenery is nice, and there's a good variety in stop lengths and speed limit changes and all of that kind of stuff. And it's those kinds of things that make routes great, in my opinion. Once you got the Brighton main line, you lost interest in East Coastway. Yep, I can understand that too. Because it's variety on a similar thing. Plus, it's, you know, it was developed what, 3 years later, and therefore it will be using the latest and greatest technologies that we've introduced to the game. Right, now where am I going? I'm going over here. Yes, and judging by this big gold star, that might be the end of my run. Ooh, okay, well, we'll see, won't we? Yeah, I haven't played Brighton Mainline anything like enough. I'm going to use Brighton Mainline in a 4-up challenge coming soon, but it's going to be a different kind of 4-up challenge. It's going to be what we call an 8-up challenge. Oh, yeah, you'll like it. Will you guys ever add track expansion packs, meaning we can buy more stations so you can explore it further? Oh boy, that'd be great. It genuinely would. It genuinely would be great. Yeah, no, it really would be great. It's a tricky one. That's the issue, and we're working on some ways whereby it becomes less tricky, and not as. Here's the thing, right? So let's say East Coastway, for example, we added on an extra 10 miles. Doesn't matter where they go. It really isn't important in this example, the problem with that is that the only people who would buy it would be the people who already had East Coastway. Whereas if we create something new, the people who could conceivably buy it could be anybody who's got the main game. It gives us a far greater opportunity in terms of selling some extra stuff. Now that doesn't mean we're not going to do it. Go on, keep rolling. Nah, come on, short. Yeah. Just a little further, please. So therein lies the challenge, because, you know, your development time is not going to be that much less. It's not so bad. Is that why Loco packs are deceased? No, not at all. It's not a go via. Oh, it flipping is. I don't believe it. It's a go via. Thank you. Alright, brakes off. I hate go buyers. I hate them. And I know I'm not alone. I hate them. Oh, no. Oh, well. We live and don't learn. Hey, but hey, not a bad stop. Even though I say so myself. You've got to take the sunshine where you can find it. And I found it just there. Hey, no, it's all good fun. It's all good fun. But on the subject of, is that why we stopped doing loco packs? No. That is legitimately down to a lack of loco makers at the moment. If we had more loco makers, we'd be doing more loco packs. We are constantly recruiting. You can go to dovetailgames.com and see the jobs that we've currently got open. If you fancy a crack at it and you've got some skills, we've got lots of lovely jobs. It's a tricky. How about volunteer work for expansion packs from community members for a free update? Well, you're packing a lot of work into that one, or there's a lot of thoughts in that one. So here's the thing. Firstly, everything needs to work on every single platform, which means that there is a relatively high level of competence, or a relatively high level of adherence required to our build standards. And, there will be cynics out there that will scoff at the word standards, but there are standards and we adhere to them. Then there is the fact that actually releasing the full editor and the full development kit for the game, it's not as simple as you might think. So that then becomes challenge number 2. Being able to test it is challenge number 3, and you'll know that testing is obviously not that easy. Otherwise, it would be it would not be something that is quite so obviously going awry. I know this is not suggestions, but can you add the D30? Add it to the suggestions list. We do read them. We read all of them. If someone has already suggested a D30, add your voice to that suggestion. If we come across a suggestion that has 150 people replying to it versus one that has 3 people replying to it, the one with 150 is probably going to be one we say, oh, they do seem quite keen on that, don't they? So your voice does matter. Now, obviously, we've got our own plans and we're going to follow through on those, but we do look at the forum when it comes to considering what we're going to do next. Yeah. Testing on one platform is an inordinate amount of work. Testing on 9 platforms is 9 times the inordinate amount of work. It's true. Especially when you can... I mean, this is why test plans are so difficult in the first place. It's not to absolve any of the problems we've had with regard to issues at launch or anything like that. No, there's always going to be something. That's just a fact. There will always be something. There is no escape from the fact that things will slip through the net, but we're getting more stuff slip through the net than we should do. And, until we resolve it, it's going to continue to be that way. Normally I'd say, we're working to resolve it, but, I mean, let's be honest, until we resolve it, that's what to expect. I looked at how you guys set up timetables in Excel. That's something someone with bare experience could do as a volunteer. Well, unfortunately, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's great, but unfortunately, that's the one area of the team where we're not lacking in terms of gameplay designers. Those we have. Now, what would be ace is if we could give, full or close to full ability to design timetables and make that an add-on to the scenario planner. That way, it's that way it would be open to the community, and because of Creators Club, it would be distributing it for free. So no, that kind of thing, most definitely. But I mean, route builders and model makers and those who want to get their teeth into the core technology and so forth. If we could make it easier, We very much want... We would love to do so. And at the moment... Oh yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. Gently does it. Gently does it. Slow it right down. Because I have a suspicion these switches are not going to be set the way I want them. Although this time they just might be. Although, saying that, I don't necessarily think they are. We better have a quick scout ahead here. Right. Let's... look. Where am I going? You're going over there. Ah! Right. Uh-huh. Yep. No, this actually looks promising. Yep. Yeah, you're on the right line. It's all good. Lego, do I play on PC? Yes. This is on PC that I'm playing right now. Okay, right. Brakes are off. Right, trundle along. You've got 800 and change yards to go. That would be... It would be wonderful if Scenario Planner 2.0 idea, if that comes back on the roadmap. It will do at some point. It's only suspended. It is not cancelled. We see both the creative tools as being fairly essential to the game, so they will definitely be re-added. And because I get to do so now, I get to be a thorn in the side of the people who choose where the priorities are. My focus is entirely on trying to improve the game for players. Now, don't get me wrong, the whole of the development team is that, but I have a slightly different perspective. Plus, I have the luxury of not having to live in Fantasyland. No, of getting to live in Fantasyland. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Whereby, I don't need to worry about practicalities. This is a game I'd love to play on Steam Deck on the train. Steam Deck, we're not on the Steam Deck approved list yet. Matt was looking at it. I don't think there are too many reasons why we're not on the... It will definitely work. You can probably give it a go anyway. Yeah. And once you get a Steam Deck, you can play it. Yeah, I know. My Steam Deck pre-order is now due to ship in Q3, and I kind of go, oh, Q3, because I foolishly went for the one with the big hard disk. Silly. Yeah. It's not even a hard disk. It's a whatever it is, SSD. No, I should have just got one with the small hard disk and got used. I can't think of it other than being storage, small storage. I should have just gone for the one with small storage and been happy about it. There. That's it. Uninstall is your friend. I don't know why I went for the big one, but I'm an idiot. Oh, that would be the reason. Yeah. Okay, almost there. Question mark. We might have to do a disconnect and maybe stick the train somewhere else, but we should be almost done. This was rated as an hour-long scenario. We're coming up on the hour now. I have been a little bit slow, so there may be just a smidge more to do. I doubt they're going to make... Oh, I hope they don't make me split this consist. I mean, I'm up for it, but at the same time, come on. Near enough. Yeah, okay, so it's a little bit harsh on the braking there, but it's close enough for government work. Secure the train, return the reverser to neutral. Interesting. Okay. Secure the train. The train is secure. Stick that in neutral. Yeah. You want me to take the handle out? No. What do you want me to do? Turn this to handle off. No, that's emergency. That's not the same thing. There we go. Done it. No, I haven't. Hold on. Done it. No, I haven't. Wait. Done it. Please say I've passed. I have. Great. Good. Phew. Hey. Good. There we are. There it is. Gold medal. Super. That was... you know what? Doing long freight runs is really rather soothing. Rather less of this, jagged exceeding the speed limit would have been preferable. But overall, I have driven these a whole lot worse in the past. Anyway, thanks for tuning into this one. If you're not yet sick of the sound of my voice, my alter ego is coming up next, and it's not going to be quite the same as the one you've just seen? No. Hey, how would you like to see an advert? You are watching March Madness on Friday, the 25th of March. Earlier on today, and you can obviously watch the video on demand, you saw Sherman Hill. You did, with the train simulator driver who was introducing you to the joys and delights of switching. There then followed a 4-up challenge on Sandpatch Grade. That was, I mean, it was chaotic, but it got there eventually. And just now, I ran an hour-long route on Oakville Subdivision with a bit of chat, and we talk about the game a little bit. Nothing you don't already know, probably. Next up is, well, it's my alter ego, and it's going to be slightly chaotic, and hilariously, I haven't actually queued up the video. So I'm going to talk now in a way that will hopefully allow me to queue up the video in a completely seamless fashion so that you don't notice that that's what I'm doing. Please sit at the bottom. Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is Train Sim World, and we're on the Cane Creek Subdivision, and we've got this, well, it's a modestly lengthy number that we're hauling today, and I'm endeavouring to do a fine job with it. But by which I mean I'm intending not to derail the thing, because it's relatively lengthy. It's 7 a.m. It's a beautiful morning, and the train goes on for quite some time, and it's rather splendid. I'll tell you what, I'll save this shot until I'm underway, and then we'll have it slide past the camera in that majestic fashion that we're all used to and enjoy. Right, first things first, let's get us operational. Good news, the train is pretty much set up already. Just a couple of things to... Oh, train. Oh, yeah, hang on. Let's enjoy the moment. Flipping heck, he's giving it some. Well, I say that. I mean, he's probably doing all of 30 miles per hour, but, you know, when you're hauling a big load like that, that could be considered some that's being given. Right, let's wang the front headlights on. The back headlights, we can leave them alone. What am I missing? Oh, the illumination of the number, which is over here somewhere. It is. I know it. It's one of these. I mean, I could zoom in, and then we'd be able to find it probably a little bit quicker. I'll turn the fridge on. Otherwise, how are my various beverages going to stay cold? We'll keep the window heaters on as well. Otherwise, how are my windows going to stay cold? It doesn't really matter. Where is it? It's the flipping... There's a light switch here somewhere. I'm certain of it. Oh, unless it's over on the other panel, which is it's certainly possible. Heater, yes, please. I want to keep it. Want to keep it good. Yeah, I'll deploy both heaters. You know, it means business when there's two heats. I'm keeping Sally, my junior associate here. She's being kept suitably warmed as well. Heating, air conditioning. This is all pretty important. Like high heat. Yeah, I'm not in a low fan kind of place. Wait, where's the... Would give me the... Look, if I don't put... There you go. I want gauge lights for starters, but that's not the one I wanted. I want my number light on. I was certain it was back here, you know. Certain. Refrigerator. I've probably just missed it. Short hood headlights. No, that's all good. Distributor power is on. Yeah. No, wait. Where? Running lights are on. Yeah, need those. Look, I'll be sad if I can't find this. I've had it on every time. There we number lights. Thank you. Knew they were there. Yeah, no, there's no mistake in there in the slightest. Right, let's off the tempo. Now, we've got quite a bit of downhill to go here. So, unlike the traditional gripping it and ripping it that you may be familiar with, we're going to be using a little bit of braking it so we avoid breaking it. Is the overall plan. There you go. Let's get the windows open. Yeah, I know. I've got the windows open and I've got the heater on. Yeah. See how you like that, planet Earth. Right, and well, I'll tell you what. Shall I put the reverser in the forwards? That would be a helpful way to start. Flipping idiot. Right. Okay. Getting me power going. Don't get me wrong, we're not hauling yet. This is literally gravity. We got a 1% downhill right now, and that's enough for this train to pick up plenty of speed. Anyway, look, there you go. See, this is what you came to see. Oh yeah. Right, let's give it a honk. Let people know what's up. Flipping great train, that's what's up. Yeah, love it. Right, so where are we going? Well, we're going down the hill for a bit. Not very far, only about 5 miles. Then we've got to mix up the old consist that we've got going on here and shuffle some stuff around and make sure it's all suitably set up for whatever else it's got to do today. I know it's technical, but you're going to have to live with it. Right, I'm going to go and find somewhere splendid to hang out so that we can watch the drama. You know what? We'll make out that we're in our pickup truck here in the wilds of Utah, and we'll watch it come past. There you go. It's going a ding 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 ding. We'll give it some of that. I'll turn the no. Give it some of this. Turn that off. Give it just a dab of that. Then turn that off. There we are. Don't want it running out of control while I'm just having a glamour camp moment. Nice. Bit of a honk as we go past. It's what we like to see. Now, those containers at the back, they've probably got things in. But let me tell you, the majority of what you are most likely to be hauling in this part of the world, it's going to be hot. It's going to be potash. Oh yeah, I mean there is in fact a town called Potash in Utah, and it is named because potash is what is mined there. Oh, I know. You know, I've come prepared. You know, anytime you're taking the kids on a long journey, you want to make sure you've got something to keep them amused. And this is it's not necessarily the longest of journeys that you can take, but it's certainly going to be slow. And the scenery is quite frankly some of the great wide open plains that you get in America. I know. Would Utah consider the American plains? Don't know. But it's wide open. I'll tell you that. There's lots of sky going on, and therefore there's precious few happy eaters, little chefs, that kind of behaviour to look at out the window. So to keep them amused, I brought along a fact sheet about potash for you, particularly potassium carbonate. Yeah. I mean, originally, of course, it's been used as a bleaching agent in textile manufacture. It can be used in making glass or ceramics. Very good at making soap. In fact, this dates back to the Bronze Age. Oh yeah, it genuinely does. And it's usually obtained by leaching the ashes of land and sea plants. Now, beginning in the 14th century, potash was mined in Ethiopia. Yeah, I mean, that's not what... See what I mean about the sky? It's good, isn't it? Lots of... I mean, a sky as far as the eye can see, apart from the land, which the eye can also see, and the train running through the middle of the land, which obviously we can see, because that's what we're here to pay attention to. Right, let's turn the bell off, and let's take the brake off. We can afford to go a little bit faster than this. Yeah, gravity is my homeboy in this one. Gravity's going to do most of the job for me. It's going to be absolutely splendid. Now we've got to go via in the first instance, and that little kick that you may have observed there is the brakes releasing along the length of the train. Now it's not the longest train you're ever going to come across, but it's pretty long, and therefore, I mean, I've got a good 35 odd wagons attached to this one. So it's not insubstantial. It's just not necessarily the longest that you're going to get. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Potash was in fact one of the most important industrial chemicals. It's true. It was refined from the ashes of broadleaf trees and produced primarily in the forested areas of Europe, Russia, and North America, particularly here in Utah, in the potash region. The first US patent of any kind was issued in 1790 to Samuel Hopkins for an improvement in the making of potash and pearl ash by a new apparatus and process. It's true. Yes, no, that's a fact. You can read that on the place that I'm reading it. It's decidedly true. Yeah. Right, what do we got? 3.2 miles to go. We're doing 35 miles per hour. Now, I mean, you know, we are allowed to do 60 down here, but I'm taking it easy. The one thing we don't want is to be running out of control as we head on down the track here at an increasing pace. You'll see, I mean, you know, got no power on, and we are picking up speed because gravity's getting the job done. Now you might go like, so is this an entirely hands-off adventure that we find ourselves on today? And I go, no, not even slightly. I can hang my head out the window like a dog if that's what takes my fancy. But you know what? I'd rather think it does. Yeah, I'm leaning out the side, waving to passers-by who happen to be paying an interest. We've got a yellow signal coming up, so I possibly ought to just get control of the beast to ensure that should there be a red afterwards, we're not going to just burn straight through it and end our adventure together early. I mean, that wouldn't be ideal, would it? No, it wouldn't. In fact, let's get a little bit more control over the beast, just in case I do have to now hammer the brake on. 2 miles, that's fine. 2 miles and another yellow, it's all good. And in 2.3 we're coming to a stop anyway, but in 2.1 we've got to slow to 30. We'll be ready. So, okay, well, if we go for about a 27 on the service braking there, should be about right. Yeah, gently does it. I mean, the AC 4400, of course, in its resplendent Union Pacific livery here, is, you know, it's the big beast, it's the big dog, it's it's what you want. It's going to get the job done, and I'm running a pair of them here to keep it going. I said potash was mined earlier on, didn't I? Yeah, you see, I've since come to the realisation that that's just not the case. No, it's wood ashes. Yeah. What's it used for primarily? Well, these days it's mostly used in fertiliser. You know. No, it's very true. And you know, the nitrates and the nitrogen count and all that kind of business that it's got going on in there, it's great. Yeah. There you are, that's it. I think I might be out of potash facts now. If there are any other facts you require, Google it. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, what I will tell you, though, is that between 1420 and 1620, the primary exporting cities for wood-derived potash were Danzig, Königsberg and Riga. But from 1640s, geopolitical disruptions meant that the centres of export moved from the Baltic to Archangel in Russia. And in 1700, Russian ash was dominant through Danzig, notable for the quality of its potash. Yeah, I know. You don't usually come here to learn things, but learning things you are, and therefore, you know, you're welcome. We got 1.2 miles to go until we pass the Brendel, passing siding east, and we need to be slowed to around 30 miles per hour before we reach that, because we've got a junction to go through. So okay, we'll be there. I'm holding at 39 at the moment. I can get it down to 30 in a couple of 100 yards. That's not going to be too big a drag, although it's literally going to be a drag, given that I'll be applying brakes to the rear of the train. Now, I mean, the pro tip here, I do have something of a reputation for flinging trains wildly off the track, usually because I'm driving like some kind of berserker. But not today. No, today I am being sensible and using appropriate judgment. You'll see that with 900 yards to go, we're already slowing to what will be the speed limit. Bit of a honk. There we are. Yep. It's always good for a honk past the camera. Now, I mean, you know, you can judge the quality of honkage by the old Doppler effect that you've got going on. Oh, hold on. Diggers. Wait. Park her up. Yeah. Okay. See? Brace. Doppler effect. I've tested this already. Now, it's a nice Doppler effect, but I'd say it was a bit too quick, personally. But then again, I'm not really what you might call a Doppler effect expert. I'm merely a casual fan. I like to, engage with a bit of Doppler in my spare time. but not so much that I can't, I can't handle it. I could quit any time I like. It's a heady cocktail. Your Doppler effect. There's the kick and the brakes releasing again. I like it. Yeah. Right. This is a go via. We don't actually have to stop here. And that's all good. We've got the train completely under control. I'm going to hang your head out like a dog again. I can still. Right, okay. I thought it was worth checking. Okay, 350 yards. Yep. All looks good going that way. Damn, on top of the world. This is the business. Now we do have a 15 coming up. I can take that into consideration with a smidge of minimal reduction. Now here's the thing, and you may be able to answer this one for me. Is I'm wary of just rolling your train down the hill in this fashion while maintaining braking the entire time. Isn't that just a really fine way to burn through the lifespan of your brakes if they are under constant use while on these downhill runs? Now, obviously, I could be using the brakes on the locomotive, but that's a terrible idea. That is, I was alluding to earlier, that's a fine way to fling your train off the track, is just use the independent brake. Now, you want to do it as though you're riding a bicycle with trains, is you apply the back brake first, and then, to brake more aggressively, you put the front brake on. If you just put the front brake on, you, my friend, are going over the handlebars. I've done it. I've been there. It's quite exciting, but also it's not really what you want to accomplish. I know, as saying, there are very few things that I didn't attempt and fail on a bicycle as a young man. You may possibly have heard the tale of my having attempted to jump a duck pond on a bicycle. Not any kind of stunt bicycle, you understand. Just your standard, everyday, commonplace kind of bike. Got a bit of plywood. I think it was plywood. It's not really that salient to the story, I'll be honest. Propped it up on a couple of bricks. My thinking was, because I was pretty confident on my bike, I was quite happy going at a fair lick, and I'll cycle down towards the plywood really, really fast, get some air, and clear the duck pond. There may or may not have been some Evel Knievel action going on the television that weekend. I can't adequately remember, only that Mr. Knievel and his motorcycle were occasionally, not often, but occasionally, you'd have some loon trying to jump over a bunch of stuff that they really had no business jumping over on the television, and it would inspire young gentlemen like myself to take to their bicycles and try and replicate that. Now, of course, the duck pond in question, we're not talking epic level duck pond here. We're talking about, I don't know, 6 feet across, 2 meters, something in that kind of region. It's not very far across at all, and I was fairly confident. My dad had built this duck pond, you see, because for those in the UK, and I don't know why you would be. We're doing a bit of the Cane Creek here, but my folks very much embraced the good life principle. So we had cows, ducks, chickens, flipping what else? Pigs. Oh my goodness, so many pigs. And well, by so many I mean like a dozen. The small holding whereby one would be able to be self-sufficient. Right, all the brakes, please. And a bit on the front. I timed that wrong because I was trying to remember how many pigs we had. That's okay. We're almost there. Close enough. There you go. See? Close enough. Right. What do you want from me next? I think we should probably ease the brakes a smidge. Put about 8 on the independent and take that down to about 30. That'll hold us. Yeah. Super. Right. Are we done yet? Oh, hang on. I'll wind my neck in. Let's go and uncouple the old vehicles here. All right. Yeah. Because we're not taking all of them. No. Some of these aren't coming with us. Some of these are going somewhere else. Right. Down we go. And, roll on up the side of the beast. Now, as much as you can, you know, it's one of the things that impressed me about this, you know, it is that you can, when you're stood by the side of them, you kind of go, flippin' heck, it's big. Because while you're inhabiting it and you're free roaming your camera all over the place, you really don't get a sense of just how ruddy large they are. Now, obviously, we all know trains in the real world, and we kind of go, oh yeah, train, they're quite big, aren't they? And you go, yeah, they genuinely are. That, look, I mention it because it's the sort of thing that I'm impressed by. You kind of go, oh yeah, it's quite big, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Look, I'm simple, you know, these kinds of things that entertain and amuse me. But sensor scale's very, you know, is great. Right. Uncouple, please. Good. I'll tell you something for nothing. I am not walking back up there, I'm going to sprint. I was embracing the environment and the moment and the time of the day and the enjoyment. And I tell you, this time of day, about 7 in the morning, when you got the sun coming up like this, it's the most fantastic time in the world. I've walked past your ladder. Hold on. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's great. No, you're up, you're lively. The sun's, you know, it's just starting to do its business over there. It's not so warm yet that you kind of go, oh, it's a bit warm. And the British summer, you know, the British summer gets a bit of the British weather gets a bit of a rum deal overall. It gets a bad rep. It gets a bad rep because the assumption is it's always grey and it's always rainy. And certainly at various times of the year, say between October and about April, that would be accurate. You know, occasional big winds and occasional, you know, snowy weather of the wintry variety, they break it all up, and that's, you know, that's fine and largely to be expected. But the summer's really good. Now, I mean, not every summer is reliable. You know, sometimes I missed the stop again. How? I mean, it wasn't even that far, you clown. Right, stop at the location of the Brendel Spur, which is that siding behind us, but I've got to go and switch the points to do that. Was I saying? Yeah, no, this time of day, in the summer, in Britain, magical. In fact, I would say probably, I mean, my expertise in such things, or rather my experience in such things, is slightly more limited. But I would say that for quite a lot of Northern Europe, dogs kicking off next door, you know, the same would be true, because obviously our climates are rather similar. Yeah, I know it's all about your latitudes, isn't it? Right, okay. Now it says here that it's already going left, but it's not. It's going right at the moment, so we need to go and push it left. There we go. Yeah, super. Right, up the junction. I'm into it. It's gonna be good. Anyway, as I was saying, front brakes on first. It's a terrible idea. Yeah, you genuinely do not want to deploy your front brakes first because you're going over the handlebars. I went over the handlebars a few times. Most notable of which is I was coming back from the Sunday market. There's nothing particularly special about a Sunday market. For those interested in what did I bought from the Sunday market, this was, you know, this was a good 30 years ago, but I remember it well because it ended poorly. I bought a former West German army surplus shirt. Yeah, I know. I was of an age where army surplus was kind of, you know, hip and groovy. Right, backwards a bit. About notch 3 is usually enough to get us underway, although we are running a shorter consist now, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. But I don't know. I mean, operationally, I like to bring the power up before releasing the brakes when you're on any kind of a grade, because otherwise, well, you're applying the brakes again. That was just a misthink on my part. Otherwise, you know, trouble. Oh, really? Yeah, no, big trouble. What? Otherwise, you chance rolling forwards and then having the power actually engage, and what you end up with is a lot of wheel slip. Right, let's power off. Now, we should turn left here, but I didn't actually check the points to see whether that was going to happen or not. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, clearly some of you weren't crossing your fingers. That didn't work at all. No, put the power to neutral and brakes on, please. No, we don't want to hijack those wagons as well. That's not on our agenda item list. Going this way, and then brakes off. Right, wait, no, give it a moment. Let it think about it before you. But look, I like doing US freight because they're ponderous, and I don't mean that in a sluggish kind of way. In that you set up, and then the power engages, and then you're underway. And therefore it is the timing of brakes, and it's the timing of releasing them and applying power and all that kind of stuff. That's where the challenge resides. You might go, yeah, well look, I mean, doing 20 miles at 30 mile an hour is not exactly the most riveting thing you're ever going to do. Again, it's not about that. It's about keeping something which is fundamentally difficult to control, is keeping it under control. Right, get out of the train. Yeah. So I'm coming back from the Sunday market with a plastic carrier bag that's got this West German Army surplus shirt in there. And the interesting thing about that shirt, I'd probably only wear it about half a dozen times in the future. It really wasn't worth the drama I went through to get it. And obviously, as a young man, I'm using my bicycle to get around just about everywhere. If you didn't ride a bike as a young'un in the 1980s, then frankly you weren't going anywhere. No, because your parents would look at you like you were nuts if you ever asked for a lift. You kind of go, what are you talking about? It's only half an hour walk. Go away. I mean, frankly, that went up to you. You want to go where? You want to go into town? All right, well, get a bus. Right, the end. No, lifts weren't a thing. You wanted to go somewhere, you went and did it. And dubious adventures would happen along the way. Anywho, got my shirt in a bag, and I'm carrying it in my hand while on my bike. Sort of bike, it was a racer. This one. This was back when Yeah, I know. The fact that I'm calling it a racer, that rather gives you a time and place to consider. Right, stick the reverser into reverse. Ease the brakes off. I appear to be looking out the wrong window. Alright, hang on. Give it a bit of notch too. You've done this the wrong way. That's all right. No, wait. What? Just there. Now, out the window. Turn around. Off we trot. Super job. Now, if I recall correctly, this siding is not as long as you think it's going to be. There's a set of buffers here. Yep, there we go. Anyway, on the way back, I wanted to pop into the shop. And that's fine. One would routinely pop into the shop for, a can of Quattro. I went up the pavement, and of course, because I'm on a racer, it's not designed exactly for going up the pavement. In fact, I bent the front wheel on my racer about 3 or 4 times trying to do stuff that, would suggest that a BMX was the thing that you really wanted, but it didn't really slow me down. Anyway, instead of going up the curb, the wheel skidded along the curb. I went over the handlebars and immediately flew head first into the corner of a wall as the bag got trapped in the front spokes, catapulting me dramatically over the handlebars into the corner of a brick wall. I walked it off in that way that you do, despite the fact that, possibly you should have been checked for a concussion, but, where there's no sense, there's no pain. And that's, so that's that story. Yeah. Anyway, that's the story about don't apply the front brake on the train first, lest your West German Army surplus shirt gets stuck in the spokes while you're attempting to mount a curb, and you end up flying headfirst into a wall, or in a train sense, derailing. Yeah. No, I didn't say it was 100% pertinent, but, you've got to keep the kids amused while you're on a lengthy car journey. Right, now, here's the thing. I've got 75 yards to go. That is less than 75 yards. So I am not going to be able to park exactly on the on the sweet spot here. Give it just a tickle more. You know, we'll put in some effort and try and get as close to the buffers as possible, but I don't think we're going to stop in the right place. I'll be honest. I think we're going to stop a little bit short of the target. I mean, I'm comfortable with that, but at the same time, you know, we'll do our best. I mean, especially since on a freight run such as this one, you're not really against the clock. The only real timing that you have is for other trains. I might have left this late. No, you're golden. Oh, apparently that's good enough. All right, good enough is good enough. Right, there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course I've only got 4 flipping wagons in the consist now, so it's going to stop on I would say dime, but maybe not a dime. Maybe a handful of dimes. Right. Let's pick her up. There you go. Thank you very much. Good show. Yep. And there's the honk of well done. We're on to the next one. Right. Where are we going next, Timmy? I don't know. Wait for the Fat Controller to tell us. All right, I'm ready. I imagine it's forwards though. Yeah, you see, I know a thing or two. Right. Ease off the brakes. You could probably gun it now, you know. Yeah, but I've driven the whole thing really cleanly so far. Why would you jeopardise that now? That we've accomplished things. Keep it neat, keep it tidy, keep it all under control. There you go. See, and we don't want to lose points by speeding through this switch. But not automatic. You want the independent brake because it's just you. Well, surely that just invalidates the front wheel braking only theorem that you've been expounding of late. Normally I would say yes, but in this situation it's as though we're now riding a unicycle and have only one wheel. Therefore, applying the brakes is only going to stop the one wheel that you're on. And frankly, unicycles don't have brakes. Only your feet pedalling backwards and forwards in order to maintain any level of control. I see. Yeah. Good. So here I am. I'm on my bike and got a bit of plywood set up. You know, given that my brother's only 18 months younger than me, he's obviously in attendance as well, and you know, he knows. I don't need to tell him that, you know, he was always the better cyclist in a stunts-based capacity than me. He was the one who had a BMX and with the mag wheels and the stunt pegs and all of that kind of behaviour. You know, he'd do I haven't gone far enough. Where was I supposed to stop? Back there. What? I'm not entirely sure I understand what I've done wrong here. No, you went sailing through that. You just want to stop there. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, he's in attendance, but I'm the one with the sufficient witlessness to endeavour a manoeuvre like the one that I'm about to attempt, whereby my road bike is about to sail majestically over the top of the dog ponds. And yeah, wait, hang on, do a bit of that. Right, brakes are released. Roll it up a little bit, please. No, you put the brakes back on. Yeah, I know, it's because I'm just confused, that's all. Don't worry, it's okay, it's all good. So I take a decent sized run up. Now what I should have done was taken a decent sized run up in parallel with my takeoff, and then just allowed it to roll once I hit the ramp to get some feel for the level of momentum required in order to be able to, you know, clear the lake, clear the pond in a compelling fashion. Right, we're coupling up to that. I'm going to need to switch points first. Yeah, so no, obviously I didn't do that because as an 11-year-old or however old I was, and 11 feels about right, and I didn't do any due diligence of that kind of fashion. No, I just went for it. Yeah. And when I say went for it, I probably didn't went for it as anywhere near as fast as I should have done. Well, I mean, that much is obvious because I know how this story ends. So yeah, I mean, right, we're doing what? Connect you to those. Yeah. Okay. Right. No, not a problem. 7:33 in the morning. You know, this falls into what cinematographers describe as golden hour. You get two. You get 2 golden hours per day. Where no, you've gone too far there, son. Right, okay. Right, ease that off. Thank you. Right, now because we've got 0.7 of a degree down bubble, which we do at the moment. There, see, that's 0.7%. We are going to roll that way, which is what you don't want. That's why it's worth putting a little bit of power on before your brakes fully release. Right, let's. You know what? I want this camera power off. Yeah, you've gone too far again. Yeah, stop sending it all the way to there. Here you go. We're going to bring it in here. We're going to go for the gentlest kind of connection that we can muster. See if we can get below 0.5 miles per hour on the connection here. Now, obviously, rolling up at 1 mile per hour as I currently am doing, this is not representing the largest challenge you're ever going to see, but you know, I think it's good anyway. 0.3 miles per hour now. Whoo, heady times. Bit of a honk. Let the wagons know we're coming. Right, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy does it. 2 miles per hour, you madman. Alright, that's going to be golden. It's going to be golden. No, leave the reverser alone. I can't help it. It's muscle memory of using W, A, S, and D. Yeah. Come on, keep it coming. Keep it coming. That's it. Yeah. I don't want it to go clunk in that way these couplers often do. I want it to go as the handshake is made. Right, gently, 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 gently. Dab more power. Dab more power. That's it. That's a dab. That's good. Still a clunk, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was a clunk. I failed you. I apologise. Right. Next. Turn the bell off. Good. Right. Just waiting further instructions to get golden hour. No, and it's called golden hour because the lighting is such that lighting your subjects is a doddle in this kind of light. And obviously hour, because you get about an hour at sunrise and an hour at sunset where the lighting just creates for some absolutely tremendous shots. Hollywood movies, you'll see it routinely in Hollywood movies where there is this kind of golden sheen to stuff, particularly stuff that's shot in California, which admittedly is quite a lot of Hollywood movies, but stuff shot in California because the sunsets you get there, obviously with it being on the west coast of America, particularly fine. But notwithstanding, rising in the east, setting in the west, you get an hour both ways of absolutely magnificent sunlight for lighting your visual entertainment. There you go. That's a pro tip. You know, the things you didn't know you were going to learn. You know, from front brake theory to the history of potash, which isn't mined. No, it's not. People set fire to trees and then they scoop up the ashes and flog them to other people, and somehow they make money out of that. Who knows? The fact that the first patent was of any kind, the very first patent was potash related. I didn't know that before we kicked off. I just brought some supplemental reading material in the hope of keeping you all suitably engaged while we were doing this operation, and I think you'll find that you've been enriched now. That's a pub quiz question, and no doubt, and you will know the answer. Yeah, but have you been able to retain who it was that registered that patent? Obviously, if you're American, that's patent, but for the rest of us, patent. Yeah. Wait. More brakes. All right, more brakes. Yeah, we're not mucking about now. We're going to go. Yeah, full beans, please. I'd like one stop that was on target. Well, you can't have it. No, we hammered them on. Yeah. There you go. Successful operation, well succeeded, I would say, and that was jolly good fun. Oh, duck pond. Yeah, I hit the ramp at nowhere near fast enough. I went straight over the handlebars, landed face down in the pond, covered in duck excrement, and I mean, it sticks with me as a story, but for those of you hoping for a dramatic ending of heroic nature, you've come to the wrong place. I'm in Colonel Failure. For more of this kind of nonsense, you can catch me on the YouTubes, where subscription is an option, but by no means mandatory. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks very much for watching. Cheerio. You know, that music cuts off far quicker than I'd have preferred. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in today. This has been the March Madness stream for Friday. Tomorrow, you're going to be joined by Jamie, who is going to walk you through some Train Simulator, taking in the delights of the heart of Berlin, the New Zealand JA class, the Tahoku line, and Portsmouth Direct line. So to be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same kind of place. Thanks very much for watching today. Have a pleasant rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.